Music gets me pumped, Ryan.
Oh yeah! Music brought to you by Hermit Convention. Hermit motherfucking convention. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Tavern Talk.
Yay!
Goodness
Hi, Ryan.
gracious, what a late start. My
Ryan,
sincerest apologies.
You do great. And I think people are used to us being a little late. We've been really good lately. Lately, we've been starting way on time. It's been people throwing people for a loop. So I think we had to do a little correction here. That's fine. It's a bell curve.
It's a bell curve. Well, actually, maybe you're such a star from your appearance earlier on the Dusty Wheel. I thought we should be fashionably late.
Oh, man. My throat hurts. So many lines.
Let's open this tavern door.
The Malkier.
All right. The biggest door ever. And because we're so late, let's just quickly get into our guests. Do you want to introduce our guest, my friend?
Yeah. We got a rock star panel. We got the best guest. What?
Well, I'm intimidated.
It's like, yeah.
When you told me the lineup, I have not slept for days.
Wait till you hear my song. I have effects as well, Ryan. Let's bring them in. We have Morgan from Podcast of the Dragon. We have DeeTee, and we have Master of the Deck. Guys.
Ladies and gentlemen, just bask in their glory.
I'm kind of speechless. All right. Guys, thanks for joining us. Happy Sunday, y'all.
Happy Sunday.
It's been good.
Guys, we have this is going to be fun. We have returning guests. We have DeeTee was one of our really early guests. We have Morgan. Has been a guest a couple times. She's kind of a fan favorite for sure. And guys, we have a new best friend.
Oh no!
Welcome to the puppet house, my girl.
I gotta admit, like Master of the Deck, I honestly thought your name was different for a very long time. When I first met you, you had a different initial. Yeah, different. Yeah.
Just one vowel makes a big difference.
One vowel, yeah.
I did.
You're mastering other things besides decks, but
I think it might actually still be that on your Discord server. I'm not sure. I know it is the Master of the Dick on some places.
That is amazing. And who's our friend behind you?
Oh, this is Filchath Ruin. And he's terrible. And
oh my god, he's huge!
He's terrible.
He's pretty big kitty. He's a gremlin, and he may or may not cause trouble during tonight's live stream, so just be prepared for that.
Oh my god, that's amazing. No, he's welcome.
I'm hoping he does.
I've not seen him in our Wheel of Pets in our Discord server. Have we? Please.
Possibly way early on when I first joined your Discord server. I may have dropped a picture of him in there, but not nearly enough. Filchath, what are you chewing on? Stop it!
All right. Well, excellent. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. It is Sunday. It is Tavern Talk. We are in the middle of the Great Hunt, and we are in chapters 33 and 34, which there is so much going on. And
Ryan, before we start into that, let me welcome Master of the Deck with our song. Can we do that?
Please.
Okay. I wrote a song. I need to lay down and do it. I can't do it like this. And I need to move my mic or my camera that way. There we go. Okay.
All right. Yeah. Well.
And I skip that.
At some point, we need to actually get a camera down there for the viewers.
Yeah, you think? All right. Ryan, you know I'm an emotional wreck. and all these pains in my back and my neck. But now here I am, what the heck? I want to babble on like that donkey from Shrek. I want to shout it from here to Quebec and the Republic of Czech. Of our new best friend, Master of the Deck.
Ooh, resolved on a minor chord right at the end. I love it.
Beautiful.
Oh.
Beautiful. Yeah, she analyzed that the whole time, didn't you? Music major.
I did step that song up a little bit.
Wait.
It was good. It was impressive.
Did I just hear music major?
Yes, I do indeed have a music degree. And so far it's been useful for identifying the classical music songs used in movie trailers. And just now.
Yeah.
She's like, minor chord, nailed it.
You can impress your friends when you're watching like black and whites.
Well, you impressed me.
Amazing.
Right.
Oh my God, they're asking for an encore, Dan.
Come on.
Can your back handle an encore?
Patreon, baby. No. I'll encore the heck out of you. All right, guys, you want to talk about these chapters here? Is that is that where we're at now?
I don't know. The Wheel of Time? What's that?
Yeah, I know. This is
It's a Wheel of
part of the
Tangents.
course. Welcome to the
The Wheel of Tangents.
the derailed train that we are. We are a tornado of bravado. All right, so that never hits, and I'm committed to it. I'm committed to it.
It like mixes so many different things up, though. Like, what are we getting? A tornado? Like, who says that?
Bravado. I've done it like 4 times.
Obviously, Dan says it.
I do it.
You know, this is,
Damn it!
that-
It
that
empowers
might have been
me.
the first time I heard it.
It's like my look good, feel good. Tornado.
That's how they talk in Tanchica, right?
Yes.
That's right.
Yes.
I'm fairly sure.
You know what? The next time that I hear it, I promise I'll laugh.
No, you know what? I don't want it. I do this for me. But if you want to laugh,
That's the spirit. Don't let anyone else judge you. Follow your dream.
yeah, you're killing me like Dina.
Follow your
did you
dreams.
see that?
Like we're following the Horn of Valier.
Master
It's
of the
like
Deck.
I'm on a weird thing with 2 wheels. That was the Segway King right there.
No, well, that's amazing, and we are following the Horn of Valier, but I have to argue with you, Master of the Deck. When we are entertaining masses. This is not Dan's journaling. Like, Dan can go home and journal all he wants. If he wants to do a blog or a vlog, he can like have his own Brother Dan emo blog. But we're fucking entertainers.
Why am I scared of these?
We do it for the people, Dan.
Yes. No. Yes. No.
Yes and no.
Yeah. Yes and
Yes.
yes.
and
We
no.
do it for the people, all of them, the masses. Total. Yes. Yes. We're sweeping the nation, Ryan. I hear with all our
Yeah.
constantly.
Like we're manifesting that.
Well done.
So what you're saying is that I should be looking for the side account called Tweets from Brother Dan for all of the inspirational quotes.
Yeah. Yep. It's
buy
that book.
now,
And his political views, which are always uncomfortable.
which are they're way more fringe than you would think, right? But then again, look at the haircut, man. I'm.
He's got those political views where he's always like, I'm not saying that I'm defending, and you're always like,
Yeah. But
Aren't you though?
I'm just saying.
I'm just saying.
I'm just
saying.
you know what? It's Brother Dan Rogan, right? He's just asking questions.
Yeah. Oh no, where do you go? Oh no.
I'm sorry. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
All right. My mic had unplugged for a second. I moved it.
Oh wow. Okay, I thought Joe Rogan offended you, and you were like, I can't fucking.
Hey,
I will not.
What
I
did you
want to
want
listen to a bad
Like,
word
no.
against Joe.
We're in for a long haul
Hey,
tonight.
Joe Rogan is fabulous as long as he sticks to mixed martial arts. He's the best color commentator I've ever heard of. He
He is
doesn't need to
fantastic.
speak beyond that. Yeah.
And mushrooms.
Okay, yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
I just want to go back to the Days of Fear factor. Can I just have that?
Oh God, I could never
Right.
handle that show.
Yeah,
Right.
me
Where like every other show, they are consuming some animal's semen.
All right. Now,
I'm not kidding. Or
Guys.
a testicle or something.
everyone,
Gross.
What?
We're ready.
If Joe Rogan were a character in Wheel of Time, who would he be?
Hater?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Okay, Pater's a little bit too stupid, and
Wait, hold on. Talonbor?
No. Talonbor's too
I'm
cool to be
thinking
Joe Rogan.
I'm thinking almond bunt.
Someone who switches sides
Don't do my
easily.
friend Alvin Bunt like that.
No.
He's a fucking
So,
Forsaken.
he needs to be someone
Would
who's
he be
like.
one of the Congers? Maybe.
What do you got, Morgan?
He needs to be someone who's like not meaning to be a shit stirrer, or he only means to be doing like he's just asking questions, or he's not meaning to cause any harm, and he's totally like not actually helping anybody. So I'm trying to think of who's a good character for something
You
like
and
that.
It's on the tip of her
Try
tongue.
Gowan.
Yeah.
Go.
Yes, Joe
He's
Rogan would
fucking
totally
going.
be going.
Like someone who's not trying to be,
Yeah.
a total dickbag,
A total
but like
douchebag,
falls
but-
into that role anyway.
Absolutely, that.
I'm sorry. I apologize to any Joe Rogan fans in the chat tonight. I don't like Joe Rogan.
I don't.
No, both of you. I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry for both of those people. I can see Joe Rogan being a good loser if he gets his ass kicked by Matt, coming up and giving him his 2 silvers and saying, "Wow."
Right. But then he would hold a completely irrational grudge despite all evidence to the contrary.
No, Joe Rogan appreciates other people who are good at combat sports and can respect that.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, but if you're like depressed and have identity issues, he's gonna mock you.
Yeah. He's kind of an asshole. Though I still appreciate his joke about how the dinosaurs died out because T-Rex's arms were too short to jack off. So
yes. Which, yeah, why you gotta bring up short arms, Morgan?
Yeah, yeah, that hurts. That's
damn it.
Like, if that's how Joe Rogan, he's got a remarkably like stunted imagination when it comes to masturbation. That's all I'm saying.
You must think about it a lot, I guess.
And he's always talking about the size of men's hands.
Mm.
He likes to talk about the size of your hands.
Interesting.
And their hand-sized fists. What else are hams? Your butt. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what just happened, but okay.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Dan just made a fisting joke,
I
but
made a
that's
fisting joke.
Oh, okay. I was trying to know, was that a fisting joke, or do I need to make a joke about only hams?
I was dancing around it a little bit.
okay. Anyway, the Wheel of Time.
No.
How about
I
Robert
was
Jordan's
fisting
epic
yet.
fantasy series, Wheel of Time?
We're gonna break a record.
So is Dina the most tragic story in the Wheel of Time?
No.
Yeah.
Well, up to this point, she is the
I
first
mean, I could think of a few.
character. She's the first character that we actually hear her voice that she dies on screen, or at least is killed. No one else that we like get to know.
No good
dies.
person.
Well,
yeah, good person.
yeah, you're right. Yeah, I think you're right.
And she was innocent and stuff. So I mean, she was pretty much meant to draw the heartstrings and provide the catalyst for Tom to, I don't know, create civil war in Kyrian.
Yeah, and keep Tom
Right,
with
so
the
Robert
group.
Jordan fridged her.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Robert Jordan fridged her.
Like what? Please explain. I mean, I'm intrigued.
Yeah, fridge.
Oh, we are talking about about Dina, right?
Yeah. To fridge,
okay. I just wanted to be like, wait, were you confused? Because you were talking about something else. I might have missed something. It happens.
No, we're talking about Dina.
Right. The concept of fridging is when usually a woman is killed specifically for the emotional impact it has on another character in the story, usually a man. I forget the origin of it. It was a comic book. There was, somebody whose body ended up in a fridge. Therefore, Dina was fridged.
Was Ned Stark fridged?
I don't think so. I don't think Ned Stark was fridged.
I'm trying to wrap my head around the concept of fridging. Would Ned Stark have been fridged?
I don't think so. I mean, there was a lot more that was involved in his particular death. It wasn't relevant to one particular character's emotional state. Like the consequences of Ned Stark's death. Spoilers.
Right.
Season 1 of Game of Thrones. But the consequences of that reached many people in many ways, and many people were involved in that. Dina dies so that Tom can, have an Inigo Montoya / Taken, plot line that begins there. You shouldn't have killed the girl.
That's not true. Dina dies not specifically for Tom's growth. Tom's growth is utterly incidental to that. Robert Jordan needed a plot device to cause the Civil War. He needed someone to assassinate Galdrian, and because he never wants to kill his darlings, he wanted someone who could live, and he figured that Tom was the only one who could kill her and get away with it. So that's why Dina died. I think Tom's growth is utterly incidental, and he likes to use plot devices that do double duty. So he's like, Tom can grow from that too, but what I need is some kind of thing that will get the Civil War going. And he had 3 different things. So he had the death of Barthanas, the firing of the granaries, and Galdrian's assassination, but he needed that last thing. So she didn't exist just for Tom's growth.
Were the firing of the granaries for real? Was he right? I had interpreted that as being the fire at the Defender of the Dragon Wall. It was around the same time, wasn't it?
No, the fire at the Defender of the Dragon Wall happened at least a week earlier. That happened when the Dark Friends stole the horn back. No, the granaries got fired. It's never specifically stated that Barthanas told his people burn the granaries, but he had that conversation with Rand at his party where he's playing the game of houses and Rand doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. And so Rand mentions the grain barges in the river in Andor, and Barthanas takes it as Rand being like, oh, I'll totally hold the grain from Andor hostage if you want to supplant Galdrian. So Barthanas orders his people to burn the granaries. Then Barthanas gets murdered, and then Galdrian is killed by Tom. And so you have the power vacuum, food shortages, and civil unrest that sends the Civil War off, and that's kind of how he set that up.
Wait, so is it confirmed that he killed him with his hands, or he had him killed through his machinations?
You never know because it's too secretive. Tom's like a secret agent, man. So you have
Tom's the original king killer.
Yeah,
he's the original king killer.
He's a secret gleaming man.
That's Patrick Rothfuss.
Gleaming by day, Batman at night. Yeah.
Frankly, I like the fact that you don't know how Tom killed Galdrian because it allows for speculation about how to do it. The knife in the dark. It doesn't seem his style to pay somebody to do it. I don't know.
Well, just like we're not really sure that Tom Maryland killed Taran Gale Damondred. But the man died in a hunting accident, and, Tom Maryland was around.
Who killed Barthanas? Barthanas was ripped to shreds. The only way they recognized him was his head was conveniently placed on a spike right by his fireplace. Otherwise, he was unrecognizable. There were no Trollocs there. Huron would have smelled them. What did that?
So we were talking about this the other night. So I haven't decided. I don't think that it is the King's people. It seems too extra to be tearing someone apart. I think that it was probably some form of shadow spawn. We were deciding, could it have been the golem? We don't actually see the golem until book 6, but that does seem the golem style. Otherwise, I mean, Huron did
Very
smell.
reminiscent of what happened to Herod Fell.
It is reminiscent of what happened to Herod Fell. There's no mention of whether or not there was blood there, just that he was torn apart and the servants couldn't recognize it till they saw his head. So it's very mysterious, but it does scream out, the shadow. That's like the Shadows Theater.
Mhm.
So, and I'm guessing
The golem was the golem being controlled by Samael?
There were 6 golem. We only ever see
Right.
one. Somebody mentioned a gray man, but I don't think that a gray man. There's such assassins. I don't think that they could actually do something like that. But one person
Right.
just
I think it's significant that it's described as being torn apart.
yeah, somebody said that that's the job of one person, and I agree. And it's so extra that it just has to be Shadow Spawn, unless Galdrian would specifically say, I want Barthanas killed and I want it to be really extra, but it just seems like a lot.
Yeah.
So
It's got
I think
All right,
written all over it.
real quick,
Yep.
guys, Village Mattress is asking if it is the golem who ordered the killing.
I would say no. I don't think at that point in time, if it was the golem that was around, that he had quite started to push back on the whole, just being a tool / creature. I don't know that a golem would have enough agency to actually do those things.
When does the golem first appear in the books?
book
Crown of
6.
Swords.
No, book 6. He squeezes under the door and kills Herod Fell.
That's
at the
right.
end of book
That's
6.
Herod Fell. You're correct.
All right. So, do you think Robert Jordan even thought of the golem this early?
Yes. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that wouldn't surprise me at all.
I think the term is actually even mentioned in these first 2 books. I think the word golem may be used
Maybe.
by Lan or someone.
All right. So then, Glenn is saying
Somebody who's got someone who's got an ebook. Do the Control F.
Right.
All right, let's talk about. We're talking about a stasis box. Who retrieved what from a stasis box? The golem was.
So- Samael, the golem that we see throughout the story is Samael gets that one out of the stasis box. We know there were 5 others. We don't know if any of the others were actually retrieved. Who do you think killed Barthanas, DeeTee?
Well, I always thought it was the golem. I thought it was just a really nice left alone foreshadow that he didn't come back to for a few books. Because that doesn't surprise me with Robert Jordan's writing that he would do something like that.
Fucking cool.
It does sound a little strange though. Like it is the question of it was out that early, and that it was used by a Forsaken who would have found it in a stasis box that early is certainly suspect though. All
right, so Dana Lou is
sure.
saying the next golem attack is Herod Fell in Barthanas Manor later.
What if Herod Fell was actually housed in Barthanas' old bedroom? Maybe the golem was sleeping there or something. Yeah. Maybe he chilled behind the fireplace and that was his bedroom.
It's just a house golem.
Yeah, maybe that was his house, and he was
a house elf.
And he came out and was like, "My house, motherfucker," and killed Herod Fell not under orders, but just because he was like, "This is my room, dude."
A fucking home wrecker.
Yeah.
I like it.
How amazing is Robert Jordan? This guy's name is a foreshadowing.
Herod Fell. Well, let me shift just a little bit. So we have the Waygate that is in Barthanas' manor in his garden behind a wall. DeeTee, when they open that up, Mashin Chin is not only there, but it says that it leaves it's a good span outside of the Waygate before Rand channels and hits it. Wow. My question to you is, would Mashin Chin have left the ways if they had not attacked it?
That's a really good question. I've never thought it could leave the ways. It's almost like it just was like a bubble or they pushed the membrane out. You know what I mean? But I don't think it could have burst it. But again, I don't know. That's a really good question. Are you asking,
did Rand just save all of humanity by pushing that fucker back in?
I feel like it could
Rand and Loyal.
I feel like
Loyal saved us all. Yay!
Don't sleep on my Ogier.
But yeah, that's a debate for someone smarter than me.
It's described as standing out a full span from the Waygate, which I think Dana Lou had told us before that a span is about 6 feet. So that's a significant
shit.
bulge.
I thought a span was 3 feet, but you're right. It's 2 paces to a span. Shit, that is a long way.
Right. It's a 6-foot bulge.
Why you keep saying that?
Thank you.
Jesus Christ.
It's on it, guys. We're all adults.
Your
All right.
pup is.
Hey, all right, Prince of Ravens is saying Golem is first mentioned in Rand's thoughts in Chapter 3 of Lord of Chaos.
Okay.
So not much of a stretch then.
When I first read it, I just thought like, yeah, Fain just said send some Trollocs in there to fuck him up.
Yeah.
doom,
Sure,
dirty. But like,
now that we've had these various breadcrumbs brought up and how like the Golem killed Herod fell in Barthanes' manor, and then we had Barthanes being torn to shreds, and then we see those other people killed in that way in other places. It's definitely.
No,
plus,
why then? Why would Samael send the Golem after him?
I don't think Samael was even out yet. That's the thing. Is that this is the beginning of this is the beginning of the summer.
It's a freelance Golem.
So
right,
Ishamael is out. So the Forsaken Ishamael is out. Agenor and Balthamel got out for like 15 minutes before they got killed, and Lanfear the Creepy Cougar is out. But none of the others are out yet. It's like over either the late fall or the winter, you have Samael, Ravin, and Balal get out, and then maybe some of the others. But it's specifically said in the Dragon Reborn that Lord Gabriel, High Lord Salmon, and Lord Brand came over the winter to prominence and took their places of power in Ilion, Andor, and Tyr. So I don't think that Samael was out of the boar yet. I think he was still kind of breaking out at the time that the party is at Barthanes' manor.
Yeah, I think that's what I meant. It's a little early to be making such, big plans as to kill specific politicians.
Could this be a continuity error from being so early in the series?
Let me ask you, Morgan, specifically. So this book is silly with gray men. We have Padan killing a table of 6 of them. We have at least 2 on the White Tower. We have 1 or 2 more, I think. There's a lot. A dozen of gray men. So could this have been Robert Jordan just leaning heavy on the gray man?
I don't think so. I think gray men are I don't think they would have the physical strength to do it. They're specifically designed to be like knife men, like close-in assassins, like sneak in and stab you. I don't think that they're strong enough.
Well, I mean, they did the crossbolt
or that.
They got to Lord Barthanes' manor in his dead chamber.
I mean, maybe if there were like 5 of them all like tugging on each arm or something, but so I did a whole episode.
How many arms do we have? What's happening here?
It's a pentaped.
Okay, so I was thinking of one having the head too, so like an arm and all. But okay, this picture was.
I thought you meant that there needed to be 20 gray men. Or rather 10, I can do math, 5 pulling on each arm.
Yeah, that's what I meant. So I did a whole episode about everything that happened in Kyrian, and so I really tried to find out who did kill Barthanes. So I checked in Theoryland, I checked all over, and the best I could find is that RJ got asked and Maria got asked, and everybody was just told read and find out, and we never did find out, but I really tried hard to find out. So it's just...
Could it be the rogue Golem? Maybe Morgan was onto something. It's the rogue Golem who just lives there and was tired of Barthanes' bullshit.
And I think his name is Joe Rogan.
Okay, so what Dana said though about the fact that Ishamael may have been really pissed that Barthanes let Fain slip off through the Waygate is honestly a really, really good theory. I think that's excellent because the whole time, the fade that Fain nails to the door was under Ishamael's orders, and he wanted the horn taken to the Blight. And so their tug of war that happened until Fain killed the Fade was, they would change directions every day. They'd be going to the north, and they'd do this zigzag until Fain took over control, and they'd head south, and they would kill someone every time they changed directions, basically. Mm-hmm. And then Fain kills the Fade, and they only go south. So yeah, maybe that's a really good.
Yeah, well, look at this. Danley says, I think Barthanes could have been killed by Golem on the order of Ishi for letting Fain run off with the horn against Ishi's orders.
I think that's a really great theory.
Well, let me challenge
the second Golem.
And also, Dan, hashtag 6 foot bulge.
6 foot bulge. let me ask you then, Master of the Deck. So with that theory, why Barthanes has a message that says Fain's going off to Tome and Head. He delivers this. He knows where he's going. This isn't a surprise. If he slipped off, he doesn't seem... First of all, he says Fain has certain claims on him.
Yeah. So is Barthanes a dark friend?
Yeah,
for sure. Yeah. But I think Fain is higher up in the echelon.
Wait, no. I mean, I don't know for sure. I mean, hold on. Later in the chapter, Fain goes and meets with the Seanchan Lord, and starts ingratiating him to his presence, and wins him over. That doesn't make the fucking Seanchan Lord, whatever.
No, that's friend. Mordeth. So Fain is both the Dark One and Shatter Logoth. So it was that whole transition of Fain slipping through the Waygate is also the last little bit of Fain slipping out of the Dark One's grasp, and he goes to Seanchan, and he does this switch over into his Mordeth role, and ingratiates himself and starts getting super excited because he didn't even know that there was an Empress, and though he's thinking I could move up and get an Empress, and it's they'll blow the horn of Valir, and I'll have a massive ghost army, and I'll really be able to fuck shit up. So
yeah. No, and I get all that.
High Lord Turak, who absolutely had no time for any of Padan Fain's bullshit.
And this is when he shifts from Hound.
What I'm saying is, what we saw, what Fain did with the Seanchan, could he have just not done the same with Barthanes? Does it absolutely mean Barthanes is a dark friend? Could he have just ingratiated himself into Barthanes' mind, right? Does it make him a dark friend?
Well, define when he says he has certain claims on me.
Yeah,
that's a little weird.
His certain claims are the fact that Fain is a higher ranking dark friend.
He also mentions Trollocs. He's like, you with Trollocs chasing you? What's going on? So
he was a little skeevy with Varen too. The way that he talks to Varen in particular didn't seem to be quite the same Game of Houses level. I want the Aes Sedai to hang out with. It's more wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Maybe he's aware that she is also a dark friend.
DeeTee.
Or that she's aware of him. I'm not sure. I'm just asking questions.
Yeah, so DeeTee, do you think that Ingtar and Varen and Barthanes all know beforehand that they are dark friends?
Personally, no. I don't think so. At least with Varen. Perhaps Ingtar, but still I don't think so. Varen, I think, is just too smooth. I don't think she's letting other people know that she knows, Varen, I think she's smarter than that. She's keeping herself on the DL.
What do you guys think?
I think that, Varen knows that Barthanes is a dark friend because they figured that out at the point that Fain brings the horn to his manor. Mm-hmm. Varen knowing Fain is a dark friend, I don't think
Ingtar.
Ingtar is a dark friend. I don't think that Varen was at the Dark Friend Social. I don't think that Varen was important enough. I know that Leandrin was at the Dark Friend Social, and the man who calls himself Bors, which is Jacob Carradine, specifically mentions only seeing 2 Aes Sedai. I think the second one has to have been Alviarin, because Alviarin is the head of the Black Aja. So I don't think Varen was there. You see in the exchange, first Huron says to Rand after he finds the trail that he didn't even try to get Varen's attention because she was talking to Barthanes and basically glared at him, fuck off. Mm-hmm. So I think she was probably just talking to him and probably kind of, amusing herself by saying cryptic things to make him uncomfortable because that Fain would find that funny. And then I think that when they're coming back through and they're gathering everybody to leave the party, she's talking to Ingtar, and it specifically says Ingtar looked a little dazed. And I'm in the middle of doing an episode about Fain, so I've actually broken down this scene.
Yeah.
So
she also huddles with Ingtar for most of the ride to Kyrian.
That's 100% too. So true. So they were alone together though, and he looked a little dazed. So I'm wondering if she was actually doing what we see her doing at the beginning of book 8, where she was trying to get his mission from him. And it's like, that's not an unreasonable thing, but so I think she was trying to get his mission from him or figure out, what he was doing, because she maybe wasn't sure if he was a dark friend or not. But she wasn't sure what his game was, because he was at that point being so sketchy about how he absolutely had to get the horn back. So I don't.
It's that meme of the bird and the crow. I must find the horn. I must find the horn.
Yeah. So Jake D is saying that there are 2 Aes Sedai that he recognized. I think Fain would be smart to be disguised herself at the social. I agree. I believe Fain was there, and I believe Ingtar was obviously there because
she would not have worn her ring, right? She would have been incognito. Or maybe Tomas was there.
But I do believe though that she was there and that Ingtar was just obviously like strutting around being weird. I don't remember the exact quote. I believe something about an interaction very, very early on made me think that she knew. I don't know. I have to look that shit up. But it was like very, very early on in their interactions. I thought, oh wow, yeah, she totally knows.
So the dark
like when she just rides up to catch with the party. It's been at least 3 years since I read this. I listened to these chapters today. I trust nothing that I say.
Yes,
it's all wild speculation.
We're in the same boat.
No, and this is why I thought Ingtar was there, because Ingtar was there because Lan said he just came back from the hunting at the beginning of the book, which is Ingtar and Moiraine came back at the same time. Which made me think that both of them were at the Dark Friend Social, but I believe that it was like a sleight of hand, and Moiraine was not there, but Ingtar was motherfucking there. That was
Fain?
What's that?
Fain?
No, Moiraine.
Why would Moiraine be at the Dark Friend Social?
Well,
no, because she was gone for a long. No, I'm saying like when you first read this, she was gone.
Yeah, the red herring.
And she returned at the same time Ingtar. Yeah, it was a red herring. Yeah, it made you think back when you got to go back and think, wow, you still are questioning whether she was good or not. And the last scene of book 1 is she's fucking like spying on the girls. So you don't know if she's still good, and then like he does this sleight of hand where he's like, "Oh man, they both returned," which made me think originally that both of them were there.
Not only that, but Lan. So Rand brings attention to it, and he's like, "Yeah, Moiraine like is split. She hasn't been gone for a couple of weeks." And Lan's like, "Yeah, sometimes she has to go. Don't worry about it. It's none of your business, none of my business."
Yep.
And you're like, "Oh, okay, you weird dude."
I'll push back against the idea that Fain was at the Dark Friend Social and that it was invite only and you couldn't get there under your own transportation. So I don't know that, if she didn't get like a ride in Ishamael's Dream Shard or his creepy waiters didn't get her there or whatever, there was no way she was going to be able to just show up.
Why are you
intimate with the Amaryllis though?
But why are you assuming she's like so low level? Like she's like best friends with the Amaryllis. They would want her more than ever. Like she's the most powerful. Right? Why do you assume she's not high level dark friend?
Because she wouldn't want to be. She would want to lurk in the background and just take notes.
But does she have a choice?
Yeah, I would think so. I think ambition is what pushes you to be a high level dark friend. They're not going to be like, come be a high level dark friend if you don't have the desire to.
Huh. I always thought it was more fear-based than ambition.
Good point.
I thought like Goad and Pater and all these. I thought they kind of were more motivated by fear than ambition. Maybe initially, but these people were pretty scared. And
well, there's an episode of Barkside Chats where the question is, who would ever want to be a dark friend? And there are any number of reasons why someone would swear themselves to the shadow. I said I among them. And I think I agree. I agree with Morgan on this one, that Varen's whole thing is to try to she's keeping herself unassuming enough, but also useful enough in her brown way that she can gather information, and that people they underestimate her. So whether or not she's at the Dark Friend Social, I don't really have opinions on that, but I do agree in the way that she wouldn't have wanted to draw so much attention to herself in the shadow, because it mostly would have meant that she wouldn't be able to do her own thing like she evidently does throughout most of the story.
Yeah, she has this affectation of total derpiness, and I think her goal, one of the reasons that she affects that so much, I think she affects that less so that people on the light see her as a derp, and more so that people in the shadows see her as a derp, and are like, oh, and forget about her half the time, or like, we need somebody to go do something evil, holy shit, oh wait, yeah, we could send her, like they don't even remember her half the time, and she's in the shadows taking notes all the time, oh, and you, and you, and you, and making her list.
She does always seem distracted. She always seems kind of distant and kind of not really focused. So that might be this whole facade as well. I can see that.
Specifically says in later point of views that it's an act, and it's not always an act, but it's almost like I said, I'm working on an episode on her right now, and I was talking about, like, there are times where you take your natural traits and you just turn them up to 11. I'm like, I have a flair.
What she did with Swan and Marine.
Yeah. I have a habit of being a little bit dramatic, but there are times where I just turn that up to 11, and I'm just, extra and specially dramatic, because it's just fun to do that sometimes, and it can also be useful. You're making use of a natural trait or turning it into a talent. But then there are times where she does things and it's like totally 100% natural, like in the meeting with Rand. Maureen's telling him, a fish can't teach a bird to swim, a bird can't teach a fish to fly, and Varen is all of a sudden, that's a stupid saying, and this is why, and they're looking at her like, what the fuck? That's 100% genuine. She's running off at the mouth about how there are totally birds that swim and fish that fly, and and then the Amaryllis and Moraine both look at her like, are you serious? We're in this meeting telling the dragon that he's the dragon, and you're running at the mouth about this fucking nerd bullshit. And that is 100% genuine that she fucking does that, because that's totally her. It's just most of the time she turns it up to 11. So
yeah. And shout out to today's Dusty Wheel Table Read episode where Brother Dan was and got to narrate part of that particular scene.
Actually, and the character actors today were really good, especially shout out to the Amaryllis seat. I loved her voice acting. She moved me.
Oh wait, do they have things where you guys read things out of the book?
We have a screenwriter friend of the Dusty Wheel.
Oh, that's
is
so
actually
cool.
Also, I guess, a friend of Sarah Nakamura. And
that's funny.
Rafe.
So there's always a lag in chat, so we talk and then the responses come in a little bit later. Glenn says, you know what? Whoa, she goes, I don't think Varen actually was ever distracted in the series, and I agree. She is one of the most, she is Andy Kaufman.
Well, let me
never losing her role, like never losing.
I just watched Andy Kaufman on the Dating Game, that clip when he was the foreign guy, the quote unquote foreign guy.
That was amazing. It's amazing.
And he's like, but what do you mean?
He never breaks.
It's so good.
Yeah.
Let me ask you, DeeTee, though, about Ingtar. Ingtar, we assume, went to the social, right? We assume that he got lifted onto his toes because Balzamon gave him instructions. His instructions seem to be pretty horn focused. He is there with the boys, and he does not have any sort of anger or violence towards them at all. What he has, more or less, is just a dedication to the horn. Do you think that this was What do you think he was instructed in during his little pep talk?
I kind of assume they all got the same similar instructions, but
Oh, really? Wow.
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
I always assume that, but I'm probably wrong. But I always thought, as far as the horn goes, he was looking for a way out, hardcore of his situation, and he saw that as like his light at the end of the tunnel. This is my way out, and if I can just get that, I can fix everything bad I've ever done. And I think he actually
shit! You just blew my head apart. That's fucking great. I never. Oh, is that the consensus?
Well, it is. Ingtar says, "I am lost."
Yeah,
because
I am lost. Yeah. Well, I thought it was because he was going to get punished and have to like get his skin peeled in the dream world or whatever.
Yeah, or that all of his loved ones from ever.
Yeah.
You said Ingtar got pulled up on his heels or whatever, but he didn't. If you go back and look at that scene, certain members of the Dark Front Social have the true power used on them to compel them. And you know it's the true power because if regular compulsion is used on you, you don't go through those like seizure-like convulsions. Yeah, like that. But Ingtar, when Boris is describing it, Ingtar just listens and it says he looks confused, but he's like, okay. And
Ingtar's like, what the fuck?
And the orders that he gets are to let the gray man into the keep, the gray man who shoots the arrow at it, or the crossbow bolt at Rand / the Amerlin, and to let Fain out. So, and like a lot of people, like I did a poll on Twitter about when did Ingtar decide to come back to the light? And the majority of people said that it was after Flicker, but I think it was when he had to act as a Trojan horse, letting the Murdrel into the dungeon to kill the two guards so that he could go let Fain out, because I don't think he thought through real well at all when he became a Dark Friend. I think he was drunk and thought it was a good idea. I get the idea. I liken it to having a dick tattooed on your forehead. That he thought it was a good idea.
Don't get me wrong. I like Ingtar, but I think he's a little dumb.
Yeah. But
that's amazing. Wait. So you're telling me that he hid the Myrddraal and Trollocs inside of his body and then let him out?
Yeah.
That's
Trojan horse. Yeah. There's a good army of Dark Friends right in him.
The Ingtar just shoved him up his ass.
I was with you, right?
Shiv in prison.
It's a
they come
friend
out like the Thing.
I'm probably in more. I'm probably
Shadow Spawn suppository. How many times? I bet I could do a tongue twister about Shadow Spawn suppositories. Like 7 Shadow Spawn suppositories
stuff like serenely,
seductively swift shit.
Wow. All right, well, Brother Dan, remember that when we do a rap battle later.
Yeah, well, seductively swift shit. All right.
If you don't bring up 7 suppositories,
Never. Shadow Spawn suppositories is the greatest thing that I've heard in this fandom.
What is that movie when you're like they're like in a little spaceship going through the body? What is that movie, Dan?
Inner Space?
Inner Space. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. They're like in little capsules inside
Dennis
of the
Quaid and Martin Short.
So Ingtar's got a stasis box in his ass.
Yes.
That's where the Golem came from, okay? It was Ingtar all along.
So Ingtar smuggled the Golem into this party, and I didn't have to leave to go to the bathroom at some point. I was like, I'll be right back.
It's a job.
Yep.
So Ingtar ate a bunch of canapes and then went and shot out the Golem.
Get out, you demon beast.
Well, and
it's like a hot snake.
Ancient Egyptians believed that God sneezed and created humans. So
fuck.
Maybe Ingtar can poop and create a golem. I'm sorry, I just had to elevate this conversation.
Whatever.
Glenn makes a good point that Golem can fit into tight spaces. And I gotta
Oh yeah, that's important because
None of us are safe.
And Fresh Prince of Ravens is asking, was it in his prison pocket? Which, Fresh Prince of Ravens, I think we need to ask this guy on our show, Dan. What's going on?
Oh, fuck. And you gotta figure that's important because Ingtar's a hardcore tight ass. So
And this is the point to remind everybody that my fan cast for the Golem is Henry Cavill.
Oh. Oops, Galad has entered the chat.
Who can plank longer, Joaquin Carradine or Ingtar?
Oh, Ingtar for sure. White Cloaks are such lazy, lame-ass, like half-assed soldiers. That's why they're bullies. Ingtar can plank like a fiend, 10 minutes.
In armor.
I'm not even
Come on,
tired.
man. There ain't no fucking Shinar and White Cloaks. There's weak-ass bullshit.
Dude, it's like in Towers of Midnight or the Gathering Storm or whatever, you totally get an inner narrative from Galad about what lame-ass soldiers the White Cloaks are. It's like they've only fought like minutes or whatever. They really suck.
Yeah, they just enter these
Galad Abdominals Domadrid over here, who gets control of the he gets control of the White Cloaks. He's like, what the fuck is this? We need to have a training montage for the White Cloaks, just whipping him into shape.
I'm just gonna say I have this head picture now of a boneless Henry Cavill like slithering up Ingtar's butt.
That is great.
Exactly.
That is great.
And wait, we know who Ingtar is, don't we?
Yeah, we do.
Oh my God, Ingtar is Amar Shah Patel, who is.
Oh no.
Nobody ever tell him about this podcast.
Oh no.
Too late. I'm tweeting him now.
Right. Please don't sexually harass Amer. He's a great person. We don't need to do that.
Yeah, please don't sexually harass anyone. Here. It's not okay.
Exactly.
Thank you, Morgan. Thank you.
We're classy trash.
The more you know.
We all agree with that. Is that consensus? We all agree? Thank you.
Consensus.
So there you
Consensus. Jesus Christ.
Hey, you know what? Are you a monster fucker or are you a coward? Because I mean, who wouldn't want to have Henry Cavill slithering up there?
I'm bold. I'm a cowardly monster fucker.
Oh, fuck.
DeeTee,
oh, man.
you fucking monsters lately?
Just on the weekends.
DeeTee, how often do you think of Henry Cavill?
Zero.
I know, me too.
All right, well, I see that you're not relating to this discussion. Clearly, the ladies here are really...
He's here like me.
All right. Glenn sold on Cavill. All right.
Okay.
It's the one fan cast that I will stand by. I've had one fan cast completely ruined because the actor turned out to be a cannibal, like happens sometimes. But Henry Cavill is the Golem. That's the hill I'll die on, right there.
Golem, though, like not a Forsaken.
There's actors like Henry Cavill that could be any of the great generals. Name a great general, and you throw Henry Cavill in, and
you don't want to see him in a Shinarian bathhouse scene.
Well, yeah.
Well, I'm just saying the Golem contains multitudes.
Yes.
And is contained by multitudes, evidently.
Morgan, I tend to think the flicker when he says, "Lord Rand, I walk in the light, I swear." At the end, something snapped in him that I think that's where Ingtar turned to the light. I can see where you're saying the bringing the mirror in, but that's par for the course. You if you sign up to be a golfer, you're gonna wear funny pants. So I don't know, but I think that the flicker fucked him up.
Yeah,
and he was like, "Oh my God!" And he specifically said,
"Oh my God!"
In the light, and he's like, "Yeah, I know, we all do. Don't worry about it." But Ingtar was pretty adamant about it.
Yeah,
That's where I see the change happening.
That was
Well,
like
several
the
things.
clinching it, the nail in the coffin. Like that was the one that I think
Yeah,
clinched
it
it. But
started,
he was
his
already
conscience,
trying.
Yeah, his conscience could have been riveted, like ripped, like started, like the tears could have started happening, and then the flicker.
He must have
happened.
seen some dark shit, guys.
Yeah, I'm sure he did.
Everyone
Bring up
did.
the flicker. I have made very few notes for today. I'm just putting that up, but this was one that I made because when Rand is, when Matt is having his, very naive as a servant reaction to being a servant, and then Curran's like, it's okay. He's just anxious about the dagger, and then Rand has this moment where he's like, how long before he says something without meaning to that, outs me as the Dragon Reborn. Basically, he's wondering whether Matt will betray him, however unintentionally.
Yes.
Matt will do it. He says, I think that much of our friendship is left. But then very shortly after that, we get the flicker. And afterwards, Matt is having this freaking emotional breakdown. Like, I would never betray you. I would never do that.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. They all saw some shit.
Yeah, so they all have this very unique response. Parents trying to rip his fucking eyeballs out, which made me think that he has
Masiba got religious real fast.
For sure.
And they all die again and again and again and again. At least Rand does, and I assume that this happened to all of them. This is very traumatic.
Yeah, it'd be bad.
Living
really
lives
bad
that are
trip.
fake and dying in battle, dying of old age, dying of madness, dying of suicide, dying of everything that they go through is trauma that just builds up. No wonder everyone's just puking their guts out and ripping
some
their
lives,
eyeballs.
like Perrin was like the runt of the litter.
Jeez.
Just torn asunder. Like, he like barely made it to like 3 weeks. Like, no.
I bet you there's a life where he becomes like that one wolf brother we see later.
Yeah, Noel.
Noel. Yeah, I bet you there was a Noel life or two for sure.
I'm guaranteeing you he had sex with many wolves.
Probably. Yeah.
He was ripping his fucking eyeballs out. He's like, what have I done? What have I done?
I liked it. Oh no, I liked it.
But also, Huron looked like he wanted to run away. And I was on the podcast, and I was like postulating that Huron went through many lives where he had to smell different things each life, and each one was more and more horrifying.
Oh, I was like, pizza. I smell pizza. All right, flicker. Oh, is that donuts? Flicker. God, it smells like French fries. Someone's making French fries. Flicker. Popcorn. Microwave popcorn. Flicker.
Well, I figured that, like, if nobody could actually have remembered all of those lives, or if they'd gone through the experience of having to actually, like, live the entirety of those lives, that would drive you insane, because that's just, like, it sounds so horrible. So, yeah, I would hope that they would at least, like, lose that sense of the time, at least, because that would just be too much time.
Yeah,
Brother Dan reminded me.
I think it's actually said that those fade.
It fades.
Yeah, the memories started fading. You're right. Which helped me, because like that seemed to be the most traumatic event any of these people. Like, if you have a near-death experience, you might be in therapy for 20 years just so you can like go on a date.
But
like,
they actually die over and over and over.
Yeah, die over and over. Yeah, down to the like layman soldier, down to like the cook, right? Right. They all were experiencing this, right?
Yeah, and it took a long time. It took fucking 4 months. Like it wasn't like a brief stop in acid trip hell, but
right.
And then Varen comes out, and I think someone in chat says, I really want to know what Varen saw, which is an interesting point, because she comes out and she goes, I never would have thought of that.
Interesting.
Well, there's one who's like, I think something Flicker is wrong, Flicker. Oh no, Flicker.
Yeah.
And then, but before the flicker, she's like, hey, Rand, like, really, we don't know what we're doing here. You don't know what you're doing here. We're just gonna like ride the dragon, baby. You just gotta go with TAVERN, bitch. You just get us there. Go,
We're ride or
go.
die with you, baby.
And then he looks at the column. And he's like, that's pointing in that direction.
Yep.
Fuck it. Touches it. They go through that, and then at the end, she's like, "You need to control this, man. Why are you doing this?"
Right. She says, "You shouldn't have brought us all the way here." And I'm like,
She's like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah,
You should have
she's
mentioned a layover.
Yeah, she's like,
Okay,
You
what's
didn't
that?
mention this.
why did you get a direct flight, Rand?
Yeah.
Kev, we are full spoilers. Thank you. Full spoilers. Just have at it, my friend.
Full spoilers. Yes. Go to
Full
I hope so.
spoilers.
But
Yeah.
we're going to take a break in a few
We've got
minutes.
spoilers out.
Let
We-
We're
that.
going to take a break in a few minutes, and then after that, we'll have our friend A Time to Float, who's on, and then we are going to restrict our spoilers to these chapters for that 10-minute segment or whatnot.
Okay.
Just to let the chat know.
You bet.
All right.
While we're thinking about it, I did have a question. Because in this chapter is, it's one of the only physical interactions that we see with Ma Chin in the series, period. Everything else is either like running from Ma Chin, getting killed by Ma Chin, or like, melting a waygate so that Ma Chin can't get out, or whatever it is. But Rand channels coruscating like light into the heart of Ma Chin, and it actually stands the Black Wind down. What did you guys think about that? Did that make you think of anything else? Was it just fire? Was it some sort of significant weave? Do we think that this has any sort of parallel with maybe what we see Egwene do later in the series when she's healing like the wounds in the pattern?
Doesn't Moraine fend him off with the staff, and then the staff melts, and she ends up like ditching the staff?
No, she just carves the hole through the gateway because the leaf
Right,
is missing.
yeah, that's the gateway itself.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Because channeling is weird in the ways. It doesn't,
She
doesn't
didn't
quite
channel
work
at it?
the same way it's supposed to.
Well, I thought they
she-
were outside of it.
There was something like the door itself was blocked or something like that. I don't quite remember. She wasn't channeling at Ma Chin. She was like melting stone or some shit.
Mm-hmm.
This is Rand actually. He goes through like he doesn't know what he does. He just fills himself with Sidene and then channels at it. And I believe it says a coruscating fountain of light and a pure fire that is inside of Ma Chin.
Right.
I'm
So
guessing
actually, let me read the whole sentence. And so it says, he hurled it all at the Black Bulge, standing on the full fan from the waygate.
6-foot bulge.
Yeah, sorry.
Oh my god, it's getting worse.
Hashtag 6 foot bold.
He did
All right,
not
Dan
know
Lewis
what it
is agreeing
was.
with me.
He did not know what it was that he hurled or how, but in the heart of that darkness bloomed a coruscating fountain of light. And then the Black Wind shrieked, 10,000 wordless howls, and inch by inch reluctantly backs the fuck up.
Did he just pop his balefire cherry?
Well, that's what I thought, but I don't know. It feels like it's not balefire. It feels like it's different.
I
I
agree.
could be absolutely wrong. Did you just think it was balefire?
I don't
I
think
didn't
it's
think so.
fire.
No.
I think
I
it's
thought
real-
I thought it was balefire. Just like if you've never seen it before, you might describe it that way.
Well, balefire, we don't see balefire ever end. It goes through everything that it touches.
It does
and-
end.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
you can refine the weave and make it end. It doesn't go infinitely. It's
You can do
apparently
like a balefire lightsaber?
balefire has momentum. Apparently, it is subject to the laws of physics. It's not exactly like light.
Nice.
So it's
We don't see a bar of light. This is the traditional description of
Yeah,
balefire. A
it's-
white bar of light or something
Yeah.
that's
Right.
solid of light. This just says that in the heart of darkness bloomed a coruscating fountain of light.
I
I
also
think it's something different.
think if
Yeah,
you balefired the Black Wind, it would probably kill it.
Oh.
What would happen to all those souls? Would they
It
no
would-
longer
it-
exist?
Yeah,
Get
they would
ripped.
no longer exist. I
So,
think
like,
that you could
thousands?
probably balefire the Black Wind out of existence.
Wow, 10,000 wordless howls of
Be pretty
agony.
tough.
10,000 souls would be ripped from the pattern.
I know. So people are saying Balefire always leaves the after image around it. Balefire turns things into moat, but we don't know what Balefire smooshed into Mash and Shin would
And
look
the
like.
black wind is kind of a weird, it's a weird quantity to consider in this situation. I was just curious because just the way it was described made me think about, the Flame of Terval. It made me think about Egwene and how she healed the wounds that had happened in the pattern because of Balefire. Not that I think that they were the same weave or anything like that, but that Machin Shin itself seems to be such a strange entity. Varen talks about how we don't know enough about it, and Rand doesn't know what he channeled at it, but that he was able to push back against the Black Wind, whatever he did. I thought it was neat.
I also believe that Maureen did also, and Dana Lou was agreeing with me in chat. I do believe in book one, they escaped the ways, and they were
Balefire. I like that.
and she had to fucking push him back. But I thought she was using more fire. I specifically remember Maureen using fire against it, and then it melted the tip of her fucking stuff. Anyway, so
but just the tip.
So Mandarv says, speaking of that, Mandarv says it was proto Bakafari before RJ had refined it later. Bake Fury? Bakafari. Yeah, I think that might be a sex position. I'm not sure.
Don't Google that, guys. You're gonna be disturbed.
Yeah, that doesn't seem like a good afternoon. Anyway, thank you for. I was having a Joe Rogan moment. I was just asking questions.
No, by all means. I run out of questions. I like answering stuff.
Oh man, Matt Staggerwatt, so good to see you. Anytime you can come in, we'd love to have you. Fuck yeah, good to see you.
We'll have to talk about it guarding the gate too. That's interesting.
Right.
The fact that it's sitting there, and it's at the next one too.
He's a dark friend. Then he gets infected with Mashadar. Now he's got control over that. Then he goes for a sojourn in the fucking ways, and he makes friends with Machin Shin.
Yeah,
he's got like the
he's the life of the party.
He's got the white mist and the black wind. He's got a little Aes Sedai symbol of his own.
Well, the way I see it, but the way I see it is that up until right here, Fain has, for the most part, been the hound to Rand. He was compelled to follow him, and it wasn't just the dagger, and it wasn't just the horn. It was Rand al'Thor himself. Once he got the dagger and the horn and encountered Machin Shin, to me it seems that hounding may have been transferred to the Black Wind, so that suddenly Fain no longer has that compulsion to follow Rand, but the Black Wind does.
I mean, honestly,
so wherever Rand goes, whatever waygate he shows up at, Machin Shin's going to be there.
That's what I think. Yes.
It's always hunting him.
RJ seemed to say as much, and I thought that was just how strong Rand's TAVERN is. But the idea that Fain transferred his compulsion to hunt to the Black Wind is really cool and interesting. I like it. I think because he had already encountered it once, and it encountered him at the gate to Shinar, and Moraine, when she was interviewing him in Faldara, said that as soon as it enveloped him, it fled, and that some of the voices were afraid of him, and some of them were like, "Hey, what's going on, dude? Hi," because they thought he was like them.
Long time to see.
All right. Hey, welcome, Juanita Jackson. New name, new face. Welcome to the Way of the Leaf.
I saw you earlier today at the Dusty Wheel, and I'm glad that you're here. Thank you.
Oh, man.
But yeah,
don't be a stranger.
I think that's an excellent theory. I really like it, and I don't see why not. I feel like Fain has the kind of like his soul is almost crumbly in a way.
Right.
So
I was thinking the same thing.
he's leaving like some Fain dust in the wind. There you go.
Like he was quote unquote distilled by the Dark One, so it's like he tossed a shot to Machin Shin.
Yeah, there you go.
Speaking of which, let's take a break.
Speaking of Fain dust, wait, what are you doing?
Speaking of taking a shot.
No.
All right, we're gonna take a 10-minute break. Let's all mute our mics and listen to the dulcet tones of Homunculus Rex. We love you and we're sorry.
Hello? Are you talking?
Hi.
Hello. I can't hear Ryan. Can you hear Ryan?
I cannot hear Ryan.
Poor
Okay.
Ryan.
Poor guy. But you know what? All right. So welcome back. We can go ahead and just jump to this next little part of the show without Ryan. We do a 5 quick questions. So Master of the Deck, you think you are our best friend, but you are not quite our best friend yet because we need to learn a couple things about you. And DeeTee and Morgan, I think, have gone through these questions, so feel free to jump in as well. But I'll go ahead and focus more on Master of the Deck and then toss a couple your way until we get to the new questions. All right, are you ready to be our new best friend?
Let's go.
Okay. Have you ever seen a real authentic palace? And if so, where?
I have not, because I'm a Midwestern bitch and I don't ever leave this area of the United States.
Wrong. The correct answer was White Castle for Midwest.
Have I ever seen a White Castle?
I'm sorry. That was a joke.
I've certainly never eaten at one, unless you count Harold and Kumar, but that wasn't in person.
I'll jump you guys in with this. So, Master of the Deck, have you ever eaten anything that you would consider to be a honey cake?
Maybe, probably not.
Sorry, I'm here.
That's all right. Probably not. I mean, I've probably eaten things that have honey in them that were cake-like.
Right. Where you walk into a kitchen and you're like, fuck, honey cakes, right on.
Alas, I have not had the pleasure of experiencing Malkier's Sexiest Chef's honey cakes yet. So no honey cakes for me.
That's a goal. That's a goal of mine, to have Rob's honey cakes with Rob. DeeTee, have you ever had a honey cake?
Heck no. I would like to try one though, but no, never anything even remotely resembling whatever they're describing in the books. I feel like left out.
I feel bad. I'm not a big fan of honey. Like, honey is sticky, and when I like when I've had like a comb or like authentic honey, raw honey, it's just I don't know. It's
I love honey.
A bit much for me.
Yeah.
You guys like honey?
I do too.
I
like it a lot. Yep.
The good honey,
poo, right?
like the Subies honey is kind of shit, but we have a World Market, and for Christmas, my wife's sister bought us like this like German honey with like a honeycomb in it and everything, and that shit's awesome. I love to smear it on toast with like cinnamon almond butter. It's fucking off the hook.
It's sticky though. Do you
There's
get
a shop at the Renaissance Fair that I used to work at, and they sell like, you know, they're an apiary, so they got like wildflower honey or this honey or whatever honey. This honey that's got a weird fucking. It's like going to a weed shop and experiencing the weirdest, like, you know, the names for the honey that they have. Yep. And I'm like, fuck yeah, let's go with this.
You're gonna really like this elderberry honey. You know, it gives a nice mellow head feel. All right, Master of the Deck. Have you ever seen a real thatched roof?
In pictures, yes. In person, probably not.
Okay. Have you ever seen one, DeeTee?
Yep, I have. They down on like in the Caribbean on vacation. They had like the buildings or whatever. A lot of them would have their thatched roof. Yeah, they work well. They're quite nice.
Right on. Morgan, have you ever seen a real thatched roof?
Yeah, in Britain.
Oh, right on.
I was like looking it up because I wanted to know about thatched roofs. Like, thatch is pretty hardcore.
Mm-hmm. Thatch is pretty hardcore.
That's for a long time.
I also think that they might have some thatched roofs in Old Sturbridge Village in Massachusetts, but I could be wrong, so I'm not sure.
Ryan, try to talk to us.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah.
I can hear you.
What? The dulcet tones are back.
We've been going through
Hey.
5 questions while you were gone.
You are handling shit, my man.
Hey, buddy. It's the way of the leaf. Hey, I'm just going to kiss you. All right. And this is for all of you. And in fact, I'll start with you, DeeTee, with this one. What is your party trick? What is your little of your circle of friends? What is your circus skill, per se?
If it's a circus skill, like I'd be hesitant to say party trick because I don't pull this out at parties, but I can juggle fairly well. So yeah, that would probably be it.
Wow! So when you read about Dina juggling 6 balls,
it's asinine.
That's ridiculous.
How many balls you got? Yeah. And wait, why are you not juggling on camera right now?
Okay, come on.
I don't have anything here to juggle. Otherwise, I would.
I mean,
but, nothing here to juggle.
I mean, we watch the books.
It's a particular bone of contention in the books. How he writes juggling is silly, absolutely silly, impossible juggling all the time. He has. What does he have? Tom do up to 10 balls or something once, which is like not a chance. The difference between 3 and 4 is insane. I've seen a guy do 6 once, but it was madness. He had to throw them 20 feet in the air to make that happen. Like it's not as easy as Jordan writes it at all. So
our new friend Bill Robson's asking chainsaw.
6 chainsaws is hard. It's hard to keep a limb.
Yeah.
Master of the deck, what is your party trick?
I'm real good at blowing smoke rings.
That is true. That is true. And we just saw an example. Can we see one more example? Ryan, can you zoom in?
Hold on. I'm gonna get some thicker smoke going on here. That's every time I like get out of frame like that, that's because I'm messing with the hookah.
Oh, no sweat.
I don't know if y'all have been hearing my tiny horses going on so far, but
oh yeah, there.
those are shitty. That's all right.
Yeah.
Immediately recognizable rings.
There were 3 in a row right there.
Oh, see, Tamil Thor would have shot an arrow through those.
I can't make a ship like Gandalf can, but I'm Bilbo Baggins level, I think.
Fair enough.
I'm sure. Have you ever used the smoke rings in like some sort of romantic courtship setting?
I mean, I was once on a date where there was a hookah bar and there were belly dancers, but I mean, that just meant I was distracted by the belly dancers.
You just shot a ring over to her.
In the shape of a heart, like in
right under the belly.
Cartoons.
I have attempted aiming them before. Sometimes when we're like doing the Zoom meetings or something, I'll try to get one that goes right to the camera. It doesn't happen very often. I'm not that good.
Well, let's get one before the end of the show.
By the way, DeeTee, how long have you been juggling? When did you start?
High school, so a long time. Like 25 years, probably.
And you just
it's not like I juggle anymore. I used to work at a store that sold like pool tables and games and books and mind teasers and juggling balls, and that was one of those things where when you're just standing at the store kind of helping customers, it was really easy to just practice juggling while working. So I did it all the time. Yeah, it was great. If I could do that job for the rest of my life, I would have. If I could have made wage at it.
I wish I knew a little high school DT. You would be a cool little cat, I bet.
Maybe not.
Well, yeah, you'd probably bully me. God. All right. Anyways,
no, that wouldn't happen.
Come on, puppet pride. All right, Morgan, what is your party trick?
Well, I mean, I don't really go to parties, and I'm generally, in that case, I'm pretty good at being funny despite being socially awkward and getting people to reasonably like me. But when it comes to general skill or talent, I know a lot about the Wheel of Time, and I'll volunteer to help you move, and I'm really good at assembling things, even when the instructions aren't in English.
Oh, see, okay, that's
amazing.
For me. Yeah.
Instead of a party trick, do you have any parting tricks?
Wait. Define your terms.
How do you get the fuck out, right? Like,
I'm really bad about that. I'm usually just like, my wife and I went over and visited her parents last night. It was super horrible and awkward because they're like anti-vaxxers and they don't want a mask, and it's just like they were super butthurt when we were like, no, we're not going to hug you. And it was just sort of like, it was not great. And
I love it.
Yay! That's the kind of party I want to go to.
Let's go.
And her dumbass brother was there talking about himself the whole time, as he does. But I was actually glad of it, because even though he's boring and stupid, at least we didn't have to deal with her like sulky butthurt dad and her obnoxious
It was a healthy distraction, huh?
Wow.
I don't care about your fucking car, you narcissist, or your roommates, or anything else. You're so boring, but you know what? You're keeping it like less awkward than it would be otherwise. So keep talking about yourself.
This is like the movie Buffalo 66. Have you ever seen that? There's a dinner scene that is just as awkward as what you're talking about.
It was really terrible. Well, they're selling their house, and so it was sort of like, we went, there was no furniture. We just crouched with their obnoxious dogs across the living room from them, and it was just kind of like, really terrible. You know
what? You don't blame the dogs, but they are a reflection of the owner, are they not?
Yeah, I'm not a fan of dogs, partly, I guess, because I don't know many people who train them well. If it's a well-behaved dog, then they're great. Like Seth from Watt Spoilers, his dog's a great dog. It's such a good dog. So yeah, if you ever get a chance to meet Timber, he's really good, and I like him a lot. But yeah, dogs can be a little bit too much if they're.
Yeah, he's that husky, right?
No, he's a boxer pit bull mix, I think, or something.
Okay.
But he's sweet and he's good, and he'll just walk around and say hi, and isn't pushy or obnoxious, or just a lot of dogs can just be too much for me. So
I agree, Morgan. I like other people's dogs in limited capacity.
Yeah, like children in limited capacity, and only if they're behaving well.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, I can get behind that, but your whole dog bashing is really starting to.
I did not bash dogs. I said I'm not a fan of them if they're not well trained, and I personally would not want them because they're like toddlers. They require constant attention and care, and it's just too much emotional energy for me. I like cats. They're like teenagers. They'll tell you to fuck off half the time. They'll interact with you if they feel like it or if they want something from you, and I respect that because they don't end up growing up to ask you for much or money. And it's like you can go away and leave them for a day or two, and the worst is that they might not talk to you for a couple of days, and your house might look like they threw a party, and it's just like, yeah.
It's funny. I have an opposite experience with them. I dislike, or no, sorry, I don't dislike. I'm not a fan of cats for the same reason you're not a fan of dogs. And I like dogs for the same reason you like cats, but it's different for me. I have a cat that's a needy bastard who we had to get an automatic feeder because it wants to be fed 48 times a day, and it would just knock things off. But my dog is a service dog, so it's like,
right.
So
you have a well-behaved dog,
so
well-trained dogs are great. They're an
I have a cat that chews on shit.
Yeah,
like human.
Not that long ago, right?
Like dog shit, cat shit, human shit. What kind of shit is it chewing on? William Robson, if you film yourself vibrating your eyes and send it to the WheelOfTime at gmail.com.
I've seen people do that. And it makes my eyes water and itch just seeing it.
Let's just call him in here. All right,
hold on. One more question. Master of the Deck isn't our best friend yet. She's so close to being our best friend right now. All right, last question. Are you ready? This one's a toughie. Okay. You walk into a bar and you see 3 extremely gloriously lugubrious drunkard characters from the Wheel of Time. One table is Tam L4. At another table is Alan Mandragoran. And at the third table is Asmodean. You have 1 hour to hang out with only one of them, but they are wanting to spill their guts and will pretty much answer anything they're deliciously drunk right now. Whose table would you sit at?
I mean, I'm going to go with Daddy Althor over here. Tam Althor, hands down.
Okay. Just because you're hoping to hook up like within that hour, you're like, okay.
I mean, I'm not. I wouldn't kick him out of bed for eating crackers. I feel of those three characters. I know the least about Tam and his life story, and I care the least about Asmodean and his life story.
Oh, wow.
And Lan. Yeah, the thing about Lan, I guess I think that Lan would be a morose drunk. He's either a morose drunk or a happy drunk, and I don't know that I want to necessarily spend all my time with either variety of drunk Lan. Tam, I think, like, you know, he makes brandy for a living. So, you know,
Right.
the man's going to be able, he's drunk, but he's not going to be sloppy drunk, which means that, you know, if I did manage to convince drunk Tam that we should spend a night together, he would be able to perform.
Because he has a tolerance.
You heard it here. Tam Halthor does not get whiskey dick.
By the master of the dick herself. So Juanita, yeah, working with children is what I do. That's awesome. I also work with children.
DeeTee, whose table would you sit out for this hour?
I think the first time I answered this question, I changed my mind since. So I think I would also just go for Tam because he's probably just the most like me I could hang out with and just talk to and have fun getting drunk with. Like, I agree that Lan would be kind of cool and all that, but he would probably be he'd be the stone-faced drunk still. I just don't know how drunk he could get and fun. I just can't see fun in him. And yeah, Asmodean, I thought it'd be like the Motley Crue night. That was my first pick at the first time. Like, he would have some fucking stories, man, and be like, but I think they'd all be terrible, awful stories that I don't want to hear. So yeah, I'm sticking with Tam.
Okay.
All right, so Kev says he can open and drink a can of beer without using his hands.
Wow.
I think that might be some butt action.
I was thinking penis.
I think,
Flip.
no, he cracks the beer with his penis and then chugs it with his butt.
Kev is also bragging about his tongue.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Like
Crazy maneuvers.
All right, I can't wait to see the videos that are showing up.
I think we all want to have sex with Kev right now.
I totally do. All right, last question. Morgan, what was your first concert?
Nirvana.
What? That's the best answer we've had so far.
That's a good answer.
Yeah, it was an outdoor concert. There were fucking a bunch of Christian fuckwads who were trying to promote a anti-gay measure here. It was 1992, and so they came to make money, and Kurt Cobain and Chris Novoselic made out on stage.
Yes, I seen. Yes.
And he was wearing a skirt or a dress, wasn't he?
I don't
both
think
were.
so. Maybe they were. I don't know.
I think they both were.
It was an outdoor concert, and I had to get permission from my band teacher to not come to the pep band that night because that was part of your grade in the fall. And so I was 15, and I went to him and was like, you know, I have a concert to go to, and he got all excited. He's like, "You're going to see Les Mis?" And I was like, "No, I'm going to see Nirvana." And then he looked really disappointed, but whatever. He's a fucking lame ass. So.
I too skipped out on band responsibilities one time to go to a concert. It wasn't my first one.
Well, what was your first?
It was a musical.
It was not. It was not. I was something of a late bloomer to going to see live music, but my first concert was 3 Days Grace in 2000. 2003? Question mark, maybe 2004, at Summerfest here in Milwaukee. Yeah, I mean, they were also playing with other, but 3 Days Grace, they were like headliner people. And it was a great show.
Stuff?
What was that?
You had their album and such?
Oh, absolutely. I'm a slut for new metal. I don't give a shit. People can judge me all they want.
Is that
like
is that NEU metal?
No, it's
NU dash metal. Like that's your Linkin Park, that's your 3 Days Grace, that's your Limp Bizkit, that's Korn. Sometimes Slipknot, you might call that new metal. Mudvayne. That's me. I grew up with it, and I will never judge myself for my taste in music.
I swore Red Baseball.
I'll judge you though.
Backwards on the show, and I decided against it.
I saw Korn. I saw Korn live before their first album came out.
Wow, because they're SoCal.
Yeah, I'm in SoCal, and the singer, he started crying on stage, and then someone got stabbed, and then the show got ended.
Look, Jonathan Davis has got a hell of a fucking life, man. That doesn't surprise me at all.
No, I was very moved. I loved it, and then I was horrified by what they turned into.
Yeah, I hear you. All right, DeeTee, what was your first concert, my man?
It's a little less exciting for all of you, I'm sure, because you've probably never heard of them. There's a Canadian band from Nova Scotia called Sloan, which was my first concert.
Yes!
Nice.
Yes, I love Sloan.
Yeah. Really? Wow. I wouldn't think you'd have ever heard of them. But
I know Sloan. Band. Yeah. Yeah.
1990.
What kind of music is it?
Canadian rock. Yeah, Canadian indie rock. Yeah.
Like propaganda kind of thing? Like
indie.
Indie is the right word. Yeah, it was
more like
indie, really.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Right on.
Yeah, you'd have to listen to them. Listen to the album at the time that they came out with. It was called Twice Removed, which is the tour I went to. It was freaking great. Good time. It's a good album. I still love that album. I'll still listen to it every now and again.
Guys, we have a new best friend officially.
Yeah!
Put your hands together.
Yeah!
I can't whistle.
All right, Dan, our friend Floatie's been waiting.
I know, Floaty, your patience is amazing. Guys, I don't like to brag, and I really don't mean to gloat, but it's time for the way of the float.
Oh, and here he is. We have no music because I'm having technical difficulty. Here we go, Float! Oh, okay. Right.
He's reading.
I think he's reading.
After the end, yay! How you doing, Floaty?
Hello.
Are you? Say hi. Oh,
maybe
no.
He's muted.
Can you say hello? But
Here, drop out and come back in. We'll kill time for a minute. Yeah, we can't hear you, man. So that sucks. Technology, right? Fuck that, right?
Yeah, it's been. I don't want to say it's a comedy of errors, but.
All right. Well, I think let's take this time to actually say an appreciation to our Patreon. We have a new Patreon member.
Yay!
Dragon Reader, a new Tavern patron.
Nice.
Isn't that it's absolutely amazing. And if you want to participate and help us out, we have a. What is this song you're doing?
It's. I was watching some early game shows, and they all have funky music in the back. So
I know, but I want a melody. Give me a melody I can hear though. Okay. All right, so yeah, Patreon.com. The way of the leaf. Don't do the way though. We are way of the leaf.
So I forgot my a separate party trick that occasionally amuses people.
Ooh.
Yeah.
This just in. Oh, that is good. It looked kind of right there. You look kind of like Snuffleupagus. You see the front kind of has a trunk.
Hey, bird.
100%, yeah.
Hello, bird.
Hello, bird.
I got to before anyone sees me.
Not there.
Oh my god!
I can't wait to see the smoke. Hold on. This is like Cthulhu.
This is like Janis Joplin's nightmare.
Oh! Shit, that is good. Wow.
There's so much hair in my mouth right now.
Wow, it was worth it. Trust me, it was so worth it. All right, let's get our friend Floaty back in. Floaty.
No, nobody said that's what she said. I am disappointed.
Talk to me, Float. Say hello.
Hello.
Yes.
Oh, yes. Woo. Hi, Floaty. Thanks for enduring all this stuff, man.
Yeah, I was like, it's about time now.
No, you know what? But it was super entertaining, though, right?
You can't rush art, you know. Nah.
You've never asked me y'all's new questions yet.
What?
I know. Well, all right.
Y'all just skipped over me.
What was your first concert, Floaty?
Do you count like people at the rodeo?
Well, this is why we didn't ask you. You know, no. No, what'd you ask? I'm sorry. Say it again.
So, like, do you mean like do people at the rodeo count when they're starting? Or
yes. What was the rodeo band you saw?
Probably either Selena Gomez or the band Perry. If you all know who those are.
What?
I know Selena Gomez.
She was first starting. It was a long time ago.
We did the Waverly Place. She was a fantastic actress. That was a very good show.
Excellent.
Yeah. Flow-upping hour.
Did she die?
No. No, right?
Who died?
That was Prince Albert.
No. What pop star from Mexico died?
Selena.
Thank you.
Not Gomez, just Selena, like Cher, like Madonna, just Selena.
All right, thank you.
Yeah. And that was like 15 years ago. I don't think Floaty saw her at the rodeo.
Yeah, I did when I was little.
You saw Selena, the
Selena Gomez,
the Norteño superstar.
Oh my god!
No, that's what I'm talking about. All right, Floaty, we got two very cool chapters here.
Yeah, we do.
One is called A Message from the Dark, and it is all about the waygate that is in the back of Barthanes' manor. They get to the waygate. Mashin Shin acts bizarre, is sitting.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And then they kind of split the party. So tell me what you have in your notes. What did you want to bring up about this chapter?
At first, I was like, okay, the Black Wind was like, I was like not expecting it to like be waiting.
Right.
And then let alone to be screaming Rand's name.
Right.
And I was like, okay, wait a minute. This isn't the first time this has happened.
Okay, go on. What do you mean?
And I was like, okay, this happened in Kyrian, now it's happening here. And then it happened at the other one that we haven't gotten to yet.
So what do you think's going on?
Tell me. Like, at first to me was like, Fain was controlling them, but then I realized maybe it's like different ones of the same thing.
Oh, it split up? And
yes.
Floaty, this is why we have you on. I never even thought of that.
Like
Hello, John.
That's a good thought.
Different plays at the same time, basically.
All right, before we go on, Floaty, let's all say hi to Sean Xavier McCullough.
McCullough. So right now we are spoiler-free in the chat if you can for the next 10 minutes or so while we have a time to float.
I can't even see it, so it's fine.
Okay.
You're doing great.
All right, yeah, then spoil away. All right, so Mashin Shen is weird.
Oh, yeah.
And then Barthanes gives Rand that message from Fain.
Oh, yeah. I was like, wait. I was like, is it? I was like, Fain's deliberately telling him where it is, but then I was like, okay, this could be some sort of trap or something that he's in cahoots with Fain with.
Okay. Okay.
until you know what happened to him.
Right. He got
Yeah. Not a good night for him.
he came to
No.
pieces
Nor for the other one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you piss off Tom Marilyn, you know?
You end up
It's
dead.
one of those fuck around and find out moments, right?
And then you end up dead the next night.
Yep.
Oh,
Well, yeah.
and then when Barthanas was keeping them from leaving, I was like, okay, what's going on?
But it was his party. He just wanted to.
Right, but I felt like he had something else he wanted them for. For instance, like, he wanted to, like, figure out what role he could use them for his own stuff.
Oh, okay.
Maybe.
Well, and look at this party. Outside of Rand's group, this party is pretty dull. Sure, there's a lot of entertaining, but there's the same lords, the same ladies, the same blah, blah, blah. And then Rand walks in with an Aes Sedai. Fucking a battle lord from Shinier. He comes in
servants.
Well, they all go manservants.
I did it.
Rand shows up and he brings just weirdness to this party, and everyone's just their eyes are like wagyu, wagyu, wagyu.
He wasn't the only one.
Right. Well, what do you? Well, hold on.
Count
What do you
those
mean?
women in the corner.
The wall of women.
Oh
Right,
yeah.
Joe showed up like he had the biggest dick at an orgy, you know? Everyone wanted it.
Exactly.
That was a 6-foot bulge right there.
That's a good span, my man.
Call back.
Aggressive cougar stalking Rand.
Yeah.
Hey, that's the last
okay,
thing
here's
that
all these
any- that
women
any
trying to
man
be all
can
sexual
learn
with
from.
him, and I was like, okay, this could go different directions.
Do we think that Tom has had relations with any of those women that were cornering Rand?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
He hints at one for sure.
Yeah, he's like, oh man, whew, I'm sweating just thinking about it.
Floaty, do you think these women were just uncontrollably attracted to Rand, or do you think they were like?
Oh no, not at all.
Okay, what do you think they're doing?
Trying to seduce him, along with trying to get like stuff out of him.
Oh, what kind of stuff?
The information.
Oh,
I didn't mean it like that.
No, not the good stuff.
Come on, Rand.
Just kidding.
We only got 2 minutes.
Info. Yeah, no, you're going.
All right, so what else do you have about this chapter?
Okay, let's see. Oh, when they were going to the garden.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, wait a minute. I was betting stuff to actually be there, but yet nothing was there but the way gate they can't even use.
Nope.
So there's one point, Floaty, where when Rand climbs back over the wall, he lands and he hears what he thinks is a footstep ahead of him on the stone pad, but then he doesn't hear it again. What do you think was that? Any thoughts? You think he left his party?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Let's move on to chapter 34. It starts on a sad note. I mean, it starts on a good note. Tom, has some coin in his pocket and is going back home and is about to wake Dina and tell her, "Hey, baby."
Oh yeah, that
finally
was
letting you
bad
perform.
chapter.
Dina is dead, and Tom kills the 2 men, but extracts information before. So tell me your thoughts about this chapter.
So
the Tom part,
I was like, I wasn't expecting her to die at all.
Right.
And then I was very convinced when they were like, "Oh, Barthanas did it." I was like, "Okay, I can roll with that."
Yeah, Yeah, because you just
and then
met
they
him.
were like, oh no, Galdrian did it. And I was like, wait, what? What?
So, what do you think about the fact that Tom didn't figure that out himself?
He's just a dumbass.
Oh!
He's like, Barthanes, no
Shots
Galdrian.
fired.
Okay.
Throwing shade.
Turn right at this. No, turn left. Okay, I'll turn left. And he would have gotten Barthanes, but Barthanes had already been torn to shreds by that point.
Yep.
What? Any thoughts on that?
At first, you didn't see it, but like I was at first like thinking, I forgot Rain couldn't like control the Trollocs, so I was like at first thinking Rain told the Trollocs to do it, but I realized nope, that's not gonna work.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, so
too
then
far
what did
into
you
it.
think?
And I was like, yep, not gonna work. Scratch that.
Nice.
Oh, and then when it says about, okay, who was the person that was talking with Tom that was trying to scam him?
Who's that now?
Who was the guy that was
the
trying
dark
to
friend that
scam
was
Tom?
like trying to give him wanted to give him money?
The Crowns guy?
Oh, yeah, one of the murderers.
They were trying to scam him to get for information that he obviously didn't want to give them.
Yep.
Oh,
And
you
then
wanted
they're
to
like,
tell
oh,
me
no,
the
no, we'll give you all of our money. And I was like, yeah, no, not gonna happen. Not gonna happen.
Dun, dun, dun.
And then the murderer just made that big mistake where then Tom probably obviously killed him.
Whoa, wait.
Uncle's all taken. He's like, you made one mistake. You shouldn't have touched
You're
it,
dead.
though."
Shouldn't have touched the goyle.
Yep.
Yeah, I think
He has a very particular set of skills.
So what do you think of Tom right now?
He's pretty badass.
Right?
Yep.
kill a man.
And then when they brought the slaves back in, I noticed.
The what? I'm sorry.
The slaves?
Where? From where? What?
The leashed woman.
Oh, Fain. All right, yeah, let's move on to Fain. So Fain shows up in Almond Plain. He has traveled the ways, apparently, and has gone down by himself and has presented himself to the High Lord Turok to offer him the chest, which he says, as soon as I can open this, we're going to kick some ass. And Turok's like, you think? And opens that shit right up. Boom. The horn, the dagger. Turok looks a little disappointed when he's like, okay. Talk to me about Fain.
I was like, he tried so hard but failed so bad.
Did he fail now, though?
But like, the king was that he was trying to give it to was like, yeah, I don't want to give this to my empress. What the hell are you talking about? This is junk.
Well, once he learns that it's the Horn of Valir, he's like, well, no, I'm not going to blow it because I'm 12th in line for the blood, and if I blow it, boy, it's going to cause some shit. Yeah.
And then that would just cause more anarchy that has already started, and that wouldn't be any good. Since there's already shit going down.
The High Lord Turok thinks about who would win between a Grom and a Trolloc. Who do you think would win, Floaty?
The Grom.
Grom?
I agree.
Guys, is that the consensus? DeeTee, what do you think?
Oh, hell yeah.
I agree.
Yes!
See, I was thinking Trolloc, man.
Really?
If you want it to die, go ahead.
It's a horse-sized cat, motherfucker. Horse-sized cat. We talked about this
Obviously,
extensively.
it's gonna kill the other one.
Guys, who do you think? Morgan, master of the deck, you think a Grom will take a Trolloc?
Oh yeah, because Trolloc has, its weapons are its ability to fight. It's physically no bigger than the Grom, and a Grom is gonna have a really tough hide. Like it took, Rand had to hit it in the eye.
In the eyeball, yeah.
So I don't think an edged weapon like an
Would be able to
axe
do that.
I think that the Grom would probably trample and then, bite.
Just maul.
Yeah.
Yeah, maul.
Yeah.
Is that your thought as well, Master of the Deck?
I mean, I would give the Trolloc a fighting chance because they are both, it's large. A Trolloc has got the benefit of some semi-human
They
intelligence.
certainly outweigh
Not a whole lot.
Right, it does have weapons, but
Not
a Grom's
enough
got a
to
little
kill
bit
the
more
other
of a
one.
killer instinct.
Yep.
Well, not necessarily killer instinct. They both have killer instincts, but if you had a big Trolloc, if you had a smart Trolloc, and the Trolloc had some armor, and maybe it had its weapons at its disposal, the
It
key
wouldn't matter.
issue here, I think, is Trollocs are cowards, and the Grom would smell that from a mile away, and I think the Grom would probably win.
I think the Grom would start humping his leg.
You don't think that the Trolloc might start humping the Grom's leg?
That's a good point.
Okay.
I would have to agree with Master of the Deck on that one.
Okay.
I think that a Fade could kill a Grom one-on-one, but if there were a pack of them, because a Fade's movement would be able to outmaneuver the Grom, but I think if there were more than one Grom, or at least there would probably, it might even be able to kill two, but beyond that, they would be able to come at it from multiple angles, and then I don't know that it could kill it.
Are we assuming that a Grom can only die by being hit in its third eye, or are we assuming that only an arrow would take it down in its eye? I mean an arrow to its arm isn't going to do anything, and I agree with that. Okay, maybe it has some sort of scales or some sort of armor that deflects or doesn't really penetrate organs. The eye is the only vulnerable spot for an archer.
Yeah, but
if you're standing there with a scythe or a big old sword,
can you slice
can
it
probably
up?
cut its head off, and I think you
like
will die.
Like an armadillo?
Yes, like a
if you
big
had
ferocious
a Trolloc with some thick claws, or you had a goat Trolloc that had some horns, I mean, a well-placed headbutt, that Grom sucked.
No, I don't believe any Trolloc would handle a Grom. I still think a Murdraw might be bested by a Grom, honestly. The Murdraw would have to know... Wow. Well, that's the question.
Hot take.
Do you have to get the eyeball, or can you...
Right. That's all we hear, but
that's the most vulnerable place.
But I bet you could kill it in other places, but it's not recommended.
Yeah.
I mean, it's obviously... Puppets
exactly.
Puppets are known to have eyeball sensitivities because we can't even fucking blink.
That's why you just shoot the eye. Most vulnerable there. Game over.
I'm crying on the inside.
I had a few more things that we're discussing.
Thank you.
All right, so what else did you want to say about this before we wrap up?
The backstory that Fain told.
Right.
Turok.
It's awesome.
It is.
It is.
I was like, it was honestly actually pretty believable until and then I was like, okay. And then I come to the realization that I'm starting to think that all the people that are associated with the Damani are his descendants or something.
Okay. Whose descendants?
Arthur Hawkwig.
Yes. Okay. I'm not gonna go any further, but I think that's a very cool thought.
And then I was also like, let me see. And then when Fain realizes that Rand is following them, he's like, oh my god, no, this can't be happening. He starts freaking out.
Who does? Fain starts?
Yeah.
Well, Fain says,
freaking
hey,
out that they're following him.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm just like, yeah, that's what they're going to be doing. They want the horn back, so what do you expect from them?
Let me give you one last question. We have that Fain has told Rand, hey, I'm coming to Tillman Head. If you don't come, I'm going to kill your blood. I'm going to kill your
Basically,
friend.
everybody he ever liked.
I'm going to kill everyone that you like and know. However, when he tries to take the ways are blocked by Mashin Shin. And
on purpose, I imagine.
And he does set a trap, well, not a trap, but a warning to High Lord Turok, rather. High Lord Turok saying, hey, this guy's coming. Everywhere he goes, Trollocs follow him, which is truth.
Which is, yeah. Actually, yeah.
But he warns against Rand. So what I'm hearing is a contradiction. He's saying, hey, come for me. I'm going to be here. But then it seems like he's doing everything he can to throw obstacles in Rand's way. Do you have any thoughts about that?
When I think about it now, I'm just like, he's doing this on purpose to make it to where he can't get to Tillman Head, and then he has the excuse to go and kill everybody he liked.
Huh. So he doesn't actually want Rand to show up. He just is giving him a Herculean task that he knows he can't make.
Right, but then it said I think 4 months had passed. He did that on purpose to make them use the portal stone on purpose.
Mm-hmm.
To purposely make all that time go by to give him time to leave and go somewhere else.
Look at that.
Guys, this is why we have Floaty on. This is my brain's just kind of got stirred up like a little scrambled eggs. And
I think that makes total sense.
Are you calling your brain that?
No, it's great.
Is that what your puppet brain is?
The time length still would have been pretty much the same as if they had taken the portal stone.
No.
Either way.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful.
And in fact, Varen suggested that they lost time, so it might have been even faster if they had walked.
Now, did he say to Turek that he thought they might be behind him only a couple days? He says that to Turek. He says they'll be behind us.
Yes, he
may
did.
only be a couple days behind. So he wasn't sure. He was. I don't know if he was 100% sure. You're right. He's probably hoping for it, like you said, Floaty. But I don't know how certain he was.
Yeah, and they cannot be more than a day or two behind me, is what he says. So yeah, good call, DeeTee. So by 4 months,
So maybe Fain didn't expect that Machin Shin would be guarding the way. Also, I had a hardcore past the dead moment right there. The way is shut. It was made by the dead, and the dead.
The way is shut.
Floaty, thanks for coming on, my man.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
We do have the link. Do we now have the link in the description?
Last time I looked, it was not.
Look now, buddy.
Look now. We have the link to a Time to Float blog post. It is detailed. It is
I'll
wonderful.
be the judge of that.
It is detailed. I'm telling you. It's thorough. There's trees of chronology and
there it is.
All kinds of things. So everyone go check out a Time to Float's blog. He is currently a little bit ahead of us in the Great Hunt.
I have roughly 80-something pages that I'm done.
How could you even...
Congratulations.
Well, get to reading, you filthy animal.
Yeah.
Float away.
Bye.
Bye, sweetie.
See ya.
All right.
That was good. That was a good one.
It's amazing.
All right, guys.
Segment.
It is game time.
I have to take a quick intermission if I'm going to perform at my best. So
by all means. By all means.
No. I don't want you to perform at your best.
DeeTee's all, no, she's out of handicap.
No, handicapper.
Let's do it now.
I mean, I can take a quick intermission too, and we'll give the floor to DeeTee for a little while.
Oh, great,
I don't know. Maybe Morgan's visiting the Wiz Palace.
Yeah, I mean, if you feel so inspired to pee, that's all right with me.
All right, DeeTee, you got it. Take it away.
All right, let's do this.
DeeTee, what is the worst shot that you've had that a friend has suggested you to have?
The worst shot that I've had. Maybe the, let's see, Blue Curacao beer. No, it wasn't Blue Curacao beer. It had vanilla coffee creamer in it anyway. It was really horrific.
Like International Delight or some shit like that?
Yeah. Oh, I've had friends offer to make me drink some terrible things. I did one with tartar sauce in it. Maybe that one's the worst.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
I remember that one, and you're like, oh, there was a pickle chunk. Ugh.
Yeah, that was the one. Yeah, you were there. Yeah, actually, no. That was the worst one. For sure.
Yeah.
It was the pickle chunk. Now that I'm bringing back.
Tartar sauce.
Yeah. I'll drink anything, man.
I think it was called the Flaming Fish Stick.
Yes.
Oh no.
That's right. It was. It also had. I think it had Fireball whiskey in it. Fireball whiskey and tartar sauce was two of the components. Let me see. I think I might have written it down here. I'll drink anything. I'm not afraid of no shots.
Yeah.
Whatever. Yeah.
I don't know what we're doing. We're just losing people left and right.
Well, we started talking about disgusting shots.
There's Morgan. So we are going to play a game so this came about through our show. I would occasionally say a name and say, so let's say it's Elida. And I would say, ask your doctor if Elida will work for you. But Elida isn't the proper one. There's been other ones. And so I was like, you know what? We should do Wheel of Time name or pharmaceutical drug. And so that's the game we are going to play as soon as Ryan gets back from peeing too.
Well, this should be easy
Look,
though.
I mean, it's a long show, and this is at least the third mug that I've started on.
By all means, do not apologize. I'm all good with this. This is a party. This isn't.
Hey man, peeing like a couple of wolves over here. Okay.
Oh, and we're just all forging furiously. It's all cool.
Oh, and DeeTee knocking the shots back too. I mean, I should have grabbed the flask while I was away.
Yeah, I've been
Missed
on the
opportunity.
Fireball tonight. I'm trying to wreck my Monday, so.
Hey, sometimes you got to wreck Monday. Start the week off weekly, so the week off badly weekly. I don't know what words to use right now.
Week and weekly works really, really, really well. So.
Why use lot words when few work?
Right? Nard smart.
Yeah.
This is a good one. That's a good idea. I like it.
Well, gosh, you know what? Maybe we'll just jump, and I will, while we're waiting for Ryan, we'll just, no, I need him for that too. Never mind.
I will say the game character name or pharmaceutical drug, as a bona fide Tolkien nerd, I have played this game with the Tolkien character names or pharmaceutical drugs, and I did pretty well.
I would think that Tolkien names are more easily definable. I mean, there's
more
a lot
poetic.
of harsh like K's and J's and like, right?
I mean, have you read the Silmarillion?
I can't say I have.
I can't read.
I mean, you're looking at names like Fingolfin and Finrod Felagund.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Fingolfin does sound like a pharmaceutical drug.
Yeah. No, that'd be really hard, especially if I haven't read any of them. That'd be brutal. I'm hoping that my deep knowledge of the Wheel of Time has somehow embedded all 2,782
Your money
names.
is not on Morgan for this game. You've failed in your betting. All right, there's your insider trading right there.
Do not bet against Morgan in any Wheel of Time.
I literally just went to the Wheel of Time companion and started looking up names that looked kind of pharmaceutical.
Perfect.
Kind of drug-like.
Oh man.
So as soon as Ryan's back, I don't know.
You called Barthanes Barthanes at one point, Dan, and I just totally thought about like a Bill and Ted thing of look him up. Oh, it's under Barthane's.
It's right next to Socrates.
Yeah, we know that name.
Did I say Barthanes?
Yeah, you
Ryan's
did.
been
And I
calling him
was just-
Barthanes.
You only did it once, which I fucking do that all the time. I'll notice that where I'll be editing. I'm like, I pronounced it one way and then another way. Like, I do it all the fucking time. But yeah, I was just like,
There's a
Barthanes.
lot of names I haven't like settled in my brain which way I want to say them. Yeah.
Oh, it's under Barthanes. So
My headcanon for Kyrians, but honestly, I have to tell myself not to say Karheen.
Oh yeah.
It's just I'm in my head when I read it. It was always Karheen and Karheenians.
I always pronounced it with the emphasis on the first syllable, so it was always on the second, so it was always Kyrian. And then when I actually looked and was like, oh, he does a lot of stuff where he actually puts the emphasis on the first syllable instead of the second. And then because it's logically or the way English works usually with a lot of words, the syllable that's emphasized is the second one. So like for warders, most people say guiding, but if you look at the at the glossary at the back, it's actually guiding with the emphasis. And it's like he fucking does that with all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
I was so wrong. Once I started listening to the audiobooks, I was like, I forget how all the ones I was actually said completely, like I've completely changed a lot of them. Like I used to say, I read it Aes Sedai forever. Aes Sedai. Even though it clearly says Aes Sedai in the books, but I have actually fixed that. Like there's so many pronunciations I've fixed because of audiobooks and podcasts. So
I've only ever done the audiobooks. Like I have my little Wheel of Time collection on the top shelf over there, but that's just for show. I've only ever listened to the Wheel of Time, and so Michael Kramer and Kate Redding are my, they're my Rosetta Stone.
Yeah.
And, and even they, people say, oh, they did it wrong. Like, sure, whatever. Maybe Robert Jordan had different names in his head, but they started recording in the 90s, and Robert Jordan was like, whatever, fuck it. Do whatever you want.
They completely changed some character, like the way they speak and act even. Completely changed from early books to late books. Like Min especially. Completely different character by the end, the way Redding does her. She completely changes. It's
right, and when you have such an enormous cast of characters, I run into the same thing. I'm listening to the Malazan Book of the Fallen, shocking, I know. Again. And the difference not only between narrators, but then between the way one character is voiced, and then now you have that character's point of view, different voice. And then later on, it's another voice. I'm like, okay, this is an adventure. Who's talking now?
Well, switching narrators too, because of how, even with the way someone is written, when you've got characters like they're personifying them, and that changes tone. So.
Yep.
But what are you gonna do?
What music is this, Ryan?
Good question.
I don't think this is something we have a license to or anything. All right, cool. I'm like, uh-oh.
We're going to get dinged yet.
All right, so let's, are we ready to try to play this game?
Oh, okay. Yeah, we are ready.
All right, we're doing pharmaceutical drug or Wheel of Time name. We will start, and we'll just all three of you can guess. We'll just go in order here. We'll start with you, DeeTee, and then Master of the Deck, and then Morgan. DeeTee, is this a pharmaceutical drug or a Wheel of Time name?
All right. First one is
pharmaceutical drug.
Master of the Deck.
Wheel of Time name.
Morgan.
Pharmaceutical drug.
The answer is
it is an oral contraceptive.
an oral contraceptive.
I feel like some of y'all knew that. I didn't.
All right, so keep track of your own points. I don't have a free hand. I'm sorry. I got a puppet here. All right, so next.
Is it me again?
Well, no, we'll start with more Master now.
All right.
Wheel of Time name.
Morgan.
Pharmaceutical drug.
Also going pharmaceutical drug.
It is an oral contraceptive.
You know what? I'm sticking to my guns, okay? I'll get something right
You'll be right
eventually.
eventually.
Or Scythia.
Who's first?
We'll start with you, Morgan.
It's a pharmaceutical drug.
You said that with authority.
Yeah, there was a lot of confidence there. I'm going to agree with her.
I do have to. This sounds like a pharmaceutical.
I'm gonna say it's an oral contraceptive.
It is an oral contraceptive.
Guys, so when I was doing the research, I found a name. I think it was probably Elise, and I clicked on it, and there were all these cool names, and I didn't realize what the drugs did. Ryan said, "Hey, you should see what the drugs are, and we can say what they are." I looked them up. 90% of them are contraceptives. It just so happened. It wasn't intentional, but it certainly is obvious. Sorry.
All right, here we go.
Norlish.
Is it back to me this time, I think, right?
Back to you, DT.
Sure, I'm going to go Wheel of Time name.
Wheel of Time.
I say Wheel of Time name.
Wheel of Time name. Morgan?
Pharmaceutical drug.
Pharmaceutical drug.
It is an ale woman from Avienda's Vision.
Fuck.
Norlish.
Yes. 4 for 4.
Norlish is a Wheel of Time character. All right, next.
All right, yes. Oh, we're getting there. We're getting
Pharmaceutical or Wheel of Time name? This is sweeping the nation, I think, right? All right, Meadowland.
That's a pharmaceutical drug, I would say.
All right, Master of the Deck. Pharmaceutical. Morgan.
Yeah, pharmaceutical drug.
Pharmaceutical. DT.
Yep, same.
You guys are all wrong.
It is an ailment from Avienda's Vision. Husband to Norlish.
And Norlish's husband is Meadowland.
Well then, what a fucking power couple right there, Norlish and Metallan.
All right.
So good. Jadel.
Who's next?
Morgan, you go.
Okay, I'm gonna say that's a Wheel of Time name.
Watt name.
All right.
I'm gonna agree with the consensus here. We all go down or we succeed together. Wheel of Time name.
Ryan?
All right, well, it is a contraceptive implant.
Motherfucker!
Son of a bitch.
You're taking all of these from the later books, aren't you?
It's a good thing we have all these contraceptives, because I got
Marina.
Murana.
Let's say DT. Back to you.
Marina.
Or yeah, the DT. Doesn't matter.
Watt name.
Pharmaceutical drug.
Pharmaceutical. Morgan.
It's a pharmaceutical.
Ryan.
Hey, this is an IUD.
There's that confidence again.
What's an IUD?
Yes.
Yeah.
Sometimes you know shit.
Yeah, we're not going to explain why.
Ask your doctor if Marina fits in you. Monsanel.
I think. Oh, is this my turn? Well,
Yeah.
fuck it. I'm just gonna go first. I say that this is a Wheel of Time name.
Okay. Morgan.
Where the fuck did you get these? Pharmaceutical drug.
Yes!
Thank you. That's the biggest compliment you can give me.
What did you pick, Morgan?
I picked pharmaceutical drug because I can't even tell if it's a Wheel of Time name. I don't know where the fuck it came from.
I was going to say pharmaceutical drug.
All right, it's Ravin's last name before becoming Forsaken.
God
I
damn it!
knew it was
We're in the
familiar.
last names.
Fuck you guys.
Oh,
4 points
yeah.
for me.
Well done. Serene. I love this game, Ryan.
Yes, beautiful.
Fuck, I love
Virgin,
this
you
game.
go first.
Yeah, Morgan, you go.
Wheel of Time name?
Okay, DT.
I love.
Yeah.
That's a coin flip, right?
I love this game.
Wheel of Time name.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know, so I'm gonna go pharmaceutical drug just in case.
All right, yeah, it treats arrhythmic heart issues.
Fuck me. You guys are destroying my street cred.
I was pretty cocky after 4 right in a row, but oof. Just destroyed it since then.
Arrhythmic.
I'm just gonna get a quarter. Hold on.
Sholessa.
Sholessa.
Let's go with
It's
you.
me. Wheel of
DeeTee.
Time name. Wheel of Time name.
Master.
Fuck it. Wheel of Time name.
I concur. Wheel of Time name.
You guys are all wrong.
It's an oral contraceptive.
It's an oral contraceptive.
For fuck's sake. You know what? I bet all of these were taken off the market for bullshit reasons like blood clots, you know?
For having such playful, lovely names. Lealda.
Lealda.
Pharmaceutical drug.
Yeah, pharmaceutical drug.
Pharmaceutical drug.
All right, yeah.
Consensus on this.
That treats ulcerative colitis.
There you go.
I bet you never thought you'd announce those 2 words like that. Right?
Totally.
That's a hard word. Yeah,
Pharmaceutical drug.
All over it.
Mm.
Soldu is definitely a pharmaceutical drug.
Wheel of Time name.
It's a steroid used for anti-inflammation.
It's a steroid.
Back on
I'm
top.
trying to be a dark horse here.
Oh,
It's not working.
I think we're tied now. Layfar.
You misspelled Lanfear.
Yeah. It's a Wheel of Time name.
Fuck it. Pharmaceutical drug.
It's a Wheel of Time name.
All right, it's a Wheel of Time name. Can anyone say...
You know what? I should have noticed from the way y'all phrased that it was a Wheel of Time name, because you said it's a Wheel of Time name.
Can anyone name... What name? Like, what race is it?
It's an Ogier. He's from Steading Shanghai. And,
Oh my god!
Loyal ran into him in the
Boom!
sits here, and he thought it was funny that Loyal had run away. Yeah.
Well,
go.
okay.
holy
Okay, this game's not fair for you guys.
I'm not surprised.
Lateral.
Holy mother of God.
This is my turn, isn't it?
It is
Fuck
your
it.
turn.
I don't know. I write fan fiction,
Coin
okay?
flip. It's a fun coin.
I thrive on speculation. I don't know things. This is a pharmaceutical drug.
There we go.
Pharmaceutical drug.
DeeTee.
I'll go Wheel of Time name.
It's a wise one seen in Avian's
damn it.
vision.
I love
I
when
feel
you guys are
DeeTee
like,
is winning.
fuck.
DeeTee is winning
Oh,
through the
DeeTee
sheer
is
power
winning.
of absolute fuckery. That's why DeeTee is winning.
Deep knowledge.
Guys, that was pharmaceutical.
No,
Wheel of
absolutely
Time.
not. I call shenanigans on that, DeeTee. You've had too much
I'll take it.
fireball for this
I don't
DeeTee
care how I
knowledge.
win. I don't care how I win.
I know I got 6 right. That's it.
I got 6.
Actually, I only got...
Fuck.
I'm not even sure. I know I got 6. I think I got 6 too. I think we all tied.
666, bitches!
Did we try the number of the beast?
So, the French Prince of Raven says, listening to Morgan makes me realize I have the data retention skills of a 5-year-old.
Layfar.
I think I've just
Five-year-olds
read-
absorb information incredibly well. As a person who regularly has to give information to 5-year-olds, like, they'll remember shit. I mean,
so it's Morgan who
it
has the
takes a
retention
minute.
of a 5-year-old.
I still remember all the
Right.
dinosaur stuff
You're
I
close.
learned in
I
kindergarten.
can only wish for the elasticity of my brain that a 5-year-old has. So,
So-
Freshy, you have just given yourself a compliment. Never doubt yourself.
So, Master of the Deck, are you blowing smoke rings at 5-year-olds?
As often
What?
as I can.
Don't feel bad, Freshie. I've had the pleasure of working with Morgan now for like a year, specifically doing like Wheel of Time trivia. Just don't compare yourself to her. It's a bad road.
I think it's just that I've
Brando
read...
gives us a GG.
Great
No,
game.
everyone loves a fucking new game. Brother Dan, that was Brother Dan's idea.
There you go.
Thank
you.
you.
Well, let's
Great
go ahead
job.
and jump
Great
into.
job.
Do you want to jump right into the other great idea? That's called "Thank You, Internet."
Yeah, well,
You wanna?
It's all you, brother Dan.
But yeah, you do the card though. The one in between that says "Thank you" Internet, right?
I got you. You share the screen though.
Yep. I am doing it. All right. So what we have done is have scoured the internet for the greatest Wheel of Time memes of the week. Oops. Can you see that right there?
I see.
That's a bubble in Vivo. Okay, good. You can see it. All right, so
Thank you, Internet.
Thank you, Internet. Next. I'm the queen. No one cares. Batman slapping Robin. There we go. Thank you, Internet. Actually, Elaine is kind of the Robin of the Wheel of Time. Is she not? Anyways.
Is she, though?
Togs attack a mansion.
Brother, thank you, Internet.
Thank you, Internet.
Okay.
So this is Trolloc attack on mansion and tear. Ran using gateways to cut Trolloc bodies, and Logan noted. All right, thank you.
Talk about somebody
you,
who's
Internet.
got some elasticity. Logan picks that shit up right quick. Big dick energy right there.
Right. Logan's like Egwin.
So this here is before the Dark One said, "Places, everyone."
Thank you, Internet.
Thank you. That's a deep cut, Ryan. Did you get it?
Nope, not at all.
That's when the Ravens kill the fox while they were run. Okay. Thank you. All right. Here's a Spot in the Wild Bellfire.
Fuck yeah.
That's amazing. That's great.
Thank you, Internet.
Thank you, Internet.
Here we have the weekly wheel news, and I wanted to zoom in here. So, kidnapped, the Shadow took his wife, but he just mopes. And if we zoom in here,
Oh!
Nice.
Epic fail.
Aganor's finest, epic fail.
Thank you, Internet.
Let's see. All right, we have Matt. After entering the IO waste, wow, this place is a complete shithole. Roark saying, "You just insulted my entire race of people, but yes."
Thank you, Internet.
Thank you, Internet. Fail saying, "Are you two friends?" And Perrin and Bearlane. Perrin's like, "No." Bearlane's like, "Yes." Thank you, Internet.
Thank you, Internet.
All right, here's a Venn diagram, I think it's called. All right,
A Min diagram?
That's awesome.
So here we have wishes he had parents' way with women.
And the middle.
You know what?
Oh.
Spoiler alert. They're all gay.
Yes! And in the middle, they're all wool-headed lummoxes.
They are all, yes. That is
That's
the common
amazing.
denominator. Thank you, Internet.
Thank you. Oh, thank you.
I'm just going to replace the center of that Venn diagram with gay, and there you go.
And there you go. There you go.
Gay.
Thank you. All right. Ebudar has entered the conversation.
Well.
Yep. Thank you, Internet.
The marriage knife, get it? All right.
Yep.
All right. I wanted
Holy
to do
shit. That
Grey
would be great.
Alzamon. That's Grey Alzamon.
Great.
That might be the most horrifying thing that I've seen in the last week. It
So
lives rent-free in my nightmares.
And finally, we have Rand after losing his hand. Oh, no. Anyway.
Merely a flesh wound.
Guys, that's been Thank You, Internet.
Thank you, Internet. Oh, amazing.
Sweeping the nation.
Sweeping the nation.
Yes. Is that our show, Ryan?
Is that our show? Yes. I believe so.
All right, guys. DeeTee, Morgan, Master of the Deck. You guys kick ass. This is, you guys kick ass. You should walk through your day with your chin held a little higher, knowing that you kick some fucking ass. according to this little puppet here.
We'll see if I can walk through the day tomorrow at all. Cheers.
I mean, I have to say, after DeeTee, after the Shadow Spawn suppositories, I don't think any of us are walking.
Shannara Shadow Spawn suppositories.
Oh, look at that mug.
Stickies.
Well, thank you, guys. I'm always honored when guests are on. It makes my heart swell with joy. And you guys, I feel like the Grinch after what the Luhu, talked some sense into him, and suddenly he, his heart kind of started getting bigger, and then he went to the doctor. The doctor's like, "What the fuck happened? Your heart is enlarged. We need to operate immediately." This is
maybe we should direct him towards one of those drugs that we just talked about.
You're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
Ask your doctor if Falessa works for you.
But before we go, Village Mattress is the official sponsor of the Way of the Leaf. So if you want to get 30 to 50% off of your
30 to 50%,
that's a huge deal,
right?
Yeah,
it's comically large deal.
Yeah, and it's because he loves the WheelOfTime community. So
like,
guys,
is it a 6-foot bulge of a deal?
It is a Tempur-Pedic of a deal.
Well, imagine you want a 6-foot bulge, but you only have enough to spend for a 2-foot bulge.
No, when you have a 6-foot bulge in your mattress, that's when you need to upgrade.
Upgrade to a 3.5.
That's lumpy. That's lumpy, guys.
Good point.
So yeah, Village Mattress for all your things, and Mother's Day's coming up. Buy your mom some nice pillow. Come on, step it up, would you? Flowers suck.
They do.
All right, guys. Thanks for joining us. Ryan, sign us out here, would you?
It's been a blast. Thanks for having us on. Thanks.
Absolutely. We'll see you later, guys. We'll see you on Thursday. Bye, guys.
I love you. I'm proud.